nice having breakfast with you children and seeing all your smiling faces.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mother, but this is the only chance we get to do any reading.
Yeah, the rest of the time we're too busy watching television.
Well, Sherman, you better find time to write to your mother, and you two ought to drop her a note. Aunt Viv's been gone almost a week.
Oh, I've been meaning to. I forgot.
I'll do it tonight.
Okay. Anything interesting in the paper, Chris?
Well, the society column says that a countess is coming here to Danfield.
A countess? Well, that's nice.
What's a countess?
A female count.
It said the countess used to live here in Danfield.
Here in Danfield? Let me see that.
Over there.
Countess Framboise, former Rosita Harrigan of Danfield, will return here. Rosie Harrigan! I used to know her.
You know a real countess?
Yeah, we were school chums together when she was plain old Rosie Harrigan. We used to be on the basketball team together. Boy, could she dribble.
Did she ever meet a count?
Well, one summer she went to Paris for a vacation. She asked me to go with her, but I went to Poughkeepsie instead.
I'll get it.
Okay, dear.
Boy, I'll bet Danfield will seem pretty dull after Paris.
Danfield is pretty dull even after Poughkeepsie.
It's a telegram for you, Mom.
Who would be sending me a wire?
Maybe it's from Aunt Viv.
Maybe she ran out of money.
Oh, Aunt Viv knows better than to wire me for money.
What is it, Mom?
Arriving in Danfield today, may I stay with you until I get settled. Can't wait to see you, love and kisses. Rosie Harrigan Framboise.
The Countess is going to stay with us?
Well, yes, she can stay as long as Aunt Viv's away.
Oh, gee, imagine a real Countess coming to stay with us.
Yeah, real live, full-fledged, full-blooded Countess. Gee, that ought to make Danfield society sit up and take notice.
Yeah.
Oh, what are we doing sitting here? We got to get the house cleaned up. You clean up the upstairs, I'll do the downstairs.
Okay.
Hurry up now, do a good job. Listen, children, come here. Now, remember, I want you to be very polite when you meet the Countess. Chris, I want you to curtsy.
Okay.
And I want you boys to bow, okay? I want to make a She's here already.
Oh.
Remember now, act nicely. Try to make a real good impression, okay? Rosie!
My name is Sam. Where do you want them?
Want what?
Luggage for the Countess.
Oh, just put it any place.
All righty. Come on, men. Let's get going in here now. Children, will you stay out of the way, please? Because you'll
Put it right over here.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
Good.
That'll be fine right
Will you
there.
stay out of the way, madam, because...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Oh.
Give me that, please. Now, watch it. That's good.
Stay out of the way now, Jerry.
Stay out of the way now.
Stay out of the way.
Get ready, please.
more?
There's much more. Come.
Mother, where are we going to put all this?
Yeah, that's good.
That's quite all right, dear.
Oh.
Look, boys, stay out of the way, will you, please? Get out of the way.
Now, come on, son. You have to stay out of the way.
Look at all the places she's been.
She's been all over the world, darling.
Oh, wouldn't it be exciting?
Yes, I think it's been very exciting. Boys, now stay out of the way.
Oh, where are we going to put all of it, Mother?
It's all right. Get back out of the way. Yep.
Oh, please, ma'am. That's good, boys. Keep coming with it. Keep coming. Any more? That's fine.
Rosie! Rosie! You look so beautiful.
Okay, well, just a minute. I have to take care of these nice men. Come along, easy. Oh, now, here is for all of your nice gentlemen. And
Well, this is for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
And you
Thank
can bring the rest of the things tomorrow. Oh, you're terribly nice.
Rosie, darling.
Oh, Lucy.
Oh, after all these years, you haven't changed a bit.
And you haven't changed either.
Except that you weren't blonde.
And you weren't a redhead.
Well, outside of that, we haven't changed a bit.
Not a bit. Now, darling, you got my wire.
Oh, yes, I did, dear.
And it's all right if I stay a couple of days?
It's all right if you stay a couple of weeks. My friend Viv is not here now.
Oh, bless you, darling. Well, hello there. Are these your children?
Well, some of them, yes.
Oh.
Chris and Jerry are mine, and that's Sherman. He's Viv's.
Oh, how do you do? Oh, so sweet. Ah, les enfants. Si mignon. Si formidable.
Yeah, you see what I told you? Now, why don't you children run along? I'd like to talk to the Countess.
Yes, à tout à l'heure, huh?
Oh, Rosie, this is so beautiful. Gee, your husband must have been wonderful to you. What was his name again? I never could pronounce it.
Oh. Le Comte Henri Gaston Armand Jean-Louis Philippe Framboise de Cul-de-Sac. But I called him Saxy.
Saxy. Oh, how cute. Go on, tell me what happened, Rosie.
Oh, well, dear, after my husband died, I wandered around Europe for about a year, and then I decided to come back to Danfield for a while.
Do you think maybe you'll buy an estate and settle down here?
Well, it's not very likely. I'm flat broke.
You're broke?
Broke.
Oh, but that's impossible. You're a countess.
Dear, all my husband left me was his noble title and all his noble debts.
Oh, well, that looked like an awful lot of money you were tipping those delivery men.
Well, I have to keep up appearances. And that was my farewell appearance.
Who is it?
It's me, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, dear.
Who's Mr. Mooney?
Oh, he's the president of our local bank.
A banker?
Yeah.
Oh, c'est magnifique. In my financial condition, a banker is just the man I'd like to meet. Like to meet, dearie. Have to meet.
Well, you can meet him and lots of luck. We call him the miserly Mr. Mooney.
Oh, you do?
Come in.
Oh,
Excuse me.
thank you very much.
Just go around that blue trunk there.
Oh, where? Oh, that's... Oh, well.
What brings you out of the bank? Don't tell me I'm overdrawn again.
Undoubtedly. But that is not why I'm here.
Oh.
No, I heard that you had the charming Countess Framboise staying with you.
That's right. What about it?
What about it? Well, I'd just love to meet her.
Oh. Well, I'll see if that can be arranged. Would you step back behind the trunk, please? Countess, dear, are you receiving this afternoon?
Oh, darling, any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Well, you heard the Countess. Any friend of mine is a friend of hers, so that freezes you out.
Oh, Mrs. Carmichael, you have a great sense of humor. Oh, you do. You please introduce us.
Countess, dear, may I present our leading banker, Mr. Mooney. Mr. Mooney, my oldest and dearest friend, the charming Countess Framboise.
Oh. Oh, it's a great pleasure meeting you, Countess.
Oh, and the pleasure is mutual, Mr. Money.
Mooney, yes. Now, the reason I'm here, Countess, is because I have just been elected president of the Danfield Wine Tasting Society.
Oh, how is?
Yes, and perhaps you would honor us by attending our meeting tonight?
Oh, tonight? Oh, a wine tasting society?
Yes.
That sounds très gay. Oh, yes. Well, what time should Mrs. Carmichael and I be there?
Mrs. Well, I rather thought that Mrs. Carmichael would be busy tonight.
Dream on. I'm free as a bird.
Oh, well, we'll be happy to have you both attend. It will be at 8:30 in the gourmet room of the Danfield Hotel.
We'll be there.
We there, demi, ce soir.
Oh, indeed. Yes. Goodbye. Oh, I'm so sorry, Countess. Oh, my. Oh, well.
Mr. Mooney.
Yes.
I will treasure that kiss, Mr. Mooney. It's the only thing you've ever given me without charging interest.
Goodbye, ladies.
Goodbye, Mr. Money.
That's Mooney.
Exactly.
Oh.
Well, this is it. There's Mr. Mooney and Mrs. Valance, the society columnist.
And that's Danfield Society.
Yep.
You sure you want to crash it?
Well, it isn't much, but it's all we've got.
Well, come on, let's make the best of it, huh?
All right.
Countess! Countess Framboise!
Here comes Mr. Mooney.
Oh, goody, we're airborne.
Good evening, Countess. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present the Countess Framboise.
Enchanté. Enchanté.
And now, shall we get on with the business at hand? To the wine?
Tally-ho.
Tally-ho. This way, please. Right over here. Look.
Hey, do you see what I see?
Well, I don't know. Where are you looking?
At the tables, they aren't set. I don't think we're getting any dinner.
Oh, I'm sure they'll serve later.
Well, I hope so. I'm starved.
Well, so am I. We haven't had any lunch, even.
Countess, over this way, please. Thank you so much. Right there.
Thank you.
Now then, our first wine is a Bordeaux,
Oh, a
bottled in 1935.
Ah.
Yes, by the vineyards of Chateau Mont Blanc, Sassoon.
Oh, no, Sassoon, very well.
There.
Yes.
Is he drinking it or inhaling it?
He's trying to enjoy the aroma.
Well, I'd enjoy the aroma of a hot dog right about now.
Lucy, you're supposed to sip it slowly.
Well, I have to do something to kill the hunger pangs.
Did it help?
It didn't hurt.
Good.
And now, perhaps our honored guest would give her opinion of this wine, Countess.
Oh, thank you. Well, I think it's an excellent wine. It's sort of, well, je ne sais quoi. I could describe it as a sort of a combination of nectar and ambrosia. What do you think, Lucille, darling?
Well, I could definitely describe it as ambrosiatic.
Now, if you will, Countess, we'll move down to this.
Oh, yes, thank you very much. Yes.
Right here. Yes. Now, this next wine, this wine is a Burgundy.
Ah, yes.
Yes, from the Saône and Loire.
Oh, Loire, yes.
Now, this was bottled in 1959.
Uh-huh.
A most excellent year for Burgundies.
Oh, thank you,
There you are.
Burgundies.
Burgundies.
Wasn't a bad year for hot dogs either.
You give your opinion of this wine.
Well, I think it's very good for a domestic wine.
Domestic wine? This came from France.
Well, that's where I come from.
Oh, that's telling them, Rosie.
Yes,
shall we, if you will, follow me, please,
Oh,
to our
yes,
next
delighted.
wine. Yes, right over this way. Oh, Countess,
Okay.
this way. Right over here, if you will. Now, this wine is a delicate Chablis
Ah, Chablis. Santé, santé.
with an indescribably delectable bouquet.
Yes.
Yes, it's known for its full-bodied aroma. The fragrance is alluring, enchanting, and exotic.
He puts a dab of it behind his ear, so help me, I'll belt him.
I'll drink to that here.
Ah, well, this is indeed one of my favorite wines.
Yes, well,
Oh, pardon me, Mr. Mooney. If this is one of your favorite wines...
And it is.
Oh, well, then I would like to propose a toast to a very deserving gentleman. Our new club president, Mr. Theodore J. Mooney.
I'll drink to that.
Let us all move on to wine number 9.
You know, I don't think they're ever going to serve us any food.
I don't care if I never eat again. What do you think of that, baby? Come on, let's get on to wine number 9.
All right, wine number 9.
Hey, you know, that's like poetry. Wine number 9. It tickles my spine.
You are divine. Honey, let's not walk. Let's take a taxi.
I would say that this is a very tough corner to get a taxi on.
Okay? Let's hit the road. We made it while Oh, you look lovely in that hat.
Thank you, darling.
Continue.
Now, our 9th wine is a sherry from India.
Oh, all the way from India.
Now.
By elephant, I presume.
Yeah.
You'll notice the color. It's light brown.
Oh, light brown. I dream of Jeannie with her light brown.
Ladies, Countess, ladies.
Continue.
As I was saying, this sherry was bottled in an excellent year, 1939.
He shouldn't have said anything like that.
Nothing.
Well, you certainly did say something to her. What did you say?
All I said was this sherry was bottled in an excellent year, 1939.
He said it again!
Now, Lucy, dear, what happened?
Did you hear what he said,
Oh,
Rosie?
yes, I did. He just said 1939 was an excellent year. Hey, now, shut up! Now, you tell me what's wrong with
Well,
you.
1939 was one of the worst years of my life.
Honeykins. Honeykins. Now, honey, what?
I didn't get to go to the seesaw. sick. I couldn't go swimming or anything. The mumps and everything.
Oh, come on. Well, don't you worry. Oh, don't see it never happens again.
Mention what?
I'll see that he'll never mention it again.
What?
1939.
Never mention 1939
now,
again.
Lucy, listen.
As long as I live.
Lucy.
Never, never, never. I don't want anybody to say it.
Now, we gotta pull ourselves together.
Why? Are we coming apart?
Straighten up there. Fly right. Now, listen. You want to get into Danville society, don't you?
Yes, I do. How do I look?
Terrible.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now, I am going to fix you up. Now, come on. Oh, sweetie, that hat is really you. Come on, come on, come on.
Countess, Mrs. Carmichael, right round the corner. Here, there, your chair's right there.
Watch that step, it's seducing.
You sit down first. You sit down first, Countess. After all, you're royalty.
That's right, I am royalty. I'll go first. I'm feeling a bit flushed.
Royal flush here.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to our last wine. And as is our custom, we always finish with a champagne.
Oh, I love champagne.
And we are fortunate indeed tonight to have a very distinguished champagne from Épernay.
Oh, Épernay.
Yes.
Oh, garçon, thank you very much. You go get some for the rest of the folks.
And now, I should like to propose a final toast.
Oh, let's drink a final toast to the president of the Wine Tasting Society. Here's to what... What's his name again?
Whose name?
Mooney.
I don't know.
What difference does it make? To the president.
Notable meeting comes to a conclusion. I think it only fitting us. I think out of respect for our honored guest, we should all rise and drink the toast to our charming visitor, our Countess, and our lovely Mrs. Carmichael. So let us all rise and say...
Rosie Harrigan, you better get in here if you want some chow this morning.
I hear you. I was just talking to that nice mailman. I think he likes me. He says I have a cute zip code.
Rosie, every man in town likes you.
Oh, come on.
Here is another gift from one of your admiring merchants.
Oh, now, isn't that sweet? I wonder what it is. It looks awfully... Oh, caviar again. Nothing but caviar. We've got so many fish eggs, you'd think we were running an underwater maternity ward. Why doesn't anybody send us some meat?
Well, because everybody thinks you're the rich Countess Framboise. They don't know you're the busted Rosie Harrigan.
Darling, I feel so terrible about being broke and sponging off of you.
Now, what are old school friends for?
Well, we'll have to live off of caviar the rest of the week.
Not for me, thank you. I'm allergic to caviar. Every time I eat that, I break out in hives.
Oh, Lucy, I just don't have any talents. I'm used to getting by on charm.
Oh, well, now. Being charming and gracious is nothing to frown at, you know.
Yes, but charm doesn't pay the bills.
Rosie, you know something?
What?
It can pay the bills.
What?
You could open a charm school.
Oh, what a marvelous idea. Oh, no, that takes money. Now, where am I going to get money to open a charm school?
That's where you can begin using your charm on our tight-fisted banker, Mr. Mooney. He adores you.
Bonjour, monsieur. Entrez.
Countess Framboise, I was so excited when you asked me to come over here that I ran all the way.
Oh. And I imagine a man of your powerful build can run very fast.
Well, I was quite athletic as a youth. Oh, yes, at one time I was supposed to go to the Olympics, but I married Irma that year instead.
What a shame.
Oh, you are so right. Oh,
And you are so amusing.
you really? I didn't think it was that. I really.
hi, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Carmichael.
Are you ready for tea, Countess?
Oh, yes. Voulez-vous du thé, monsieur?
Hmm?
Do you want some tea?
Oh, tea. Si. Oui.
Right in, Countess.
Thank you very much. Oh, please be seated.
Oh, thank you.
I've so looked forward to chatting with you.
Oh, I'm honored, Countess, honored. You know, you are like a breath of culture here in Danfield.
Oh, now, monsieur, vous êtes si séduisant.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought she'd never leave.
Lucy is a wonderful person. She wants to leave us alone because, frankly, I have a little favor to ask of you.
A favor? Of me? A lowly commoner?
Yes, Mr. Money.
That's Mooney. Of course, you can call me Theodore. Or even Teddy.
Theodore. Well, I'm glad that you spoke of culture. Because, frankly, I think Danfield could use a little culture.
Oh, my sentiments, exactly.
Yes. Then I am sure you can understand why I'd like to open a charm school here in Danfield.
A charm school. Oh, what a wonderful idea. I couldn't help overhearing.
Now, what do you think of this idea?
Why, Countess, with you in charge, a charm school would be sensational.
Oh, I knew a man of your breeding would agree with me.
Oh.
There's just one tiny little problem. Money. You see, all of my money is tied up in a Swiss bank.
Oh, well, couldn't you send for it?
Well, you see, my bank is way up on one of those Alps, and it takes the postman forever to get there. So I thought perhaps your bank...
Oh, dear. Oh, Countess, much as it hurts me to say this, my bank is not in a financial position to advance a loan just now.
Teddy, I was so counting on you.
Counting on Teddy.
Yes.
Oh, fudge. Wait a minute. There is a Mr. and Mrs. Dunbar from New York in town. Now, they were discussing investments only yesterday. Now, they might be just the ones to back your venture.
You really think so?
Oh, Countess, once they meet you, how could they resist? I mean, after all, I'll go and arrange a meeting right away.
Oh, Teddy.
Yes,
Teddy,
yes.
you are wonderful.
No gas! Oh, I haven't tingled like this since they came out with plaid checkbooks. Arrange a meeting right now.
Well, au revoir.
Au revoir. Au revoir. Yeah. Oh, my.
Rosie, you did it.
No, I bet the Dunbars won't be as easy to charm as Mr. Mooney.
Oh.
Now, how am I going to prove to those people that I can make this thing a success? Lucy, I don't know anything about teaching charm.
Rosie, I have a plan. Did you see My Fair Lady?
Yes.
Now listen.
So you see, my school here in Danfield would only be a start, Mrs. Dunbar. I'm planning to spread the Countess Framboise charm method all over the world.
Well, heaven knows the world needs more charming people.
I think it sounds expensive.
Quiet, Fred. Pay no attention to my husband. He made all of his money in oil. Crude oil.
Yes, indeed. Well, now, as I was saying, all I require is enough capital for this little suite of offices.
Well, Countess, I think your charm school sounds fascinating, but why waste it on this place? Everybody in Danfield is so, common. We only come here to visit Fred's relatives.
But, my dear, that is the challenge. Out there are hundreds of women who haven't the faintest idea how to walk or talk or dress. I am longing to bring them the Countess Framboise charm method. Yes, I am ready. I am ready. Now, if there was only something I could do to prove to you what I am... We're conducting business here.
Go right ahead. Ain't gonna bother me none.
Well, now, as I was saying, Mrs. Dunbar, about our investment, you see, it would be, lady, your whistling is annoying us. Lady, your whistling is annoying us.
Oh, yeah, I don't whistle so good since I had my 2 front teeth knocked out in a fight. Just hanging by their roots.
I deplore fighting.
Yeah, me too. I get a kick out of it.
But now, as to our investment...
Well, Countess, before we would dream
Hey,
of
what
making
time
any...
is it, fat lady?
It's 12 o'clock.
Oh, boy, I gotta feed my face. Oh, ooh. What's the matter with you? You want a swig?
How vile.
It's the only flavor they had left, pink bile.
I think perhaps we should talk over here.
What a crude person.
Yes, well, my dear, you can't blame her. She's a victim of society. In fact, she's exactly the type that my school could help.
Do you think you could help her?
Quiet, Fred. Do you think you could help her?
Well, it might be a very interesting challenge. Now, let me give her a few tests. Pardon me.
What'd you do?
I would like to talk to you, Miss
Lumpwomper. Liza Lumpwomper. I come from a long line of lumpwompers.
Lumpwomper. Well, I'd like to play a little game with you, Miss Lumpwomper.
Oh, what do you want to play, honey? You got some dice?
No. I would like you to say The rain in Maine falls plainly on the grain.
Now, why would you want me to say a stupid thing like that? It ain't even cloudy out. How do you know it's raining in Maine?
Now. I was just trying to study your speech habits.
Well, I don't have any habits. I just say what comes to my mind.
But I'd like you to recite something.
You mean like a poem?
Yes, a poem. I mean a poem.
Oh, I know a loverly poem.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's called, Pull Down the Awning, Mother. Daddy's leading a shady life. I was standing in front of the local saloon, and I saw him dancing with... Oh, the best part's coming.
No. Never mind. Now, can you do anything else?
Yeah. I can call Hobbs.
Oh, that's very good.
Come here.
Now that.
Suey! Suey! Suey!
What a dreadful sound.
You wouldn't say that if you was a hog.
Countess, I think you'd be wasting your time trying to transform this person. You'll never be a Pygmalion to this Galatea.
You watch your language. I'll belt anybody that says I'm one of them.
Now, let's calm down.
Not till fat lady apologizes.
I apologize.
Well, that's more like it. You better learn some manners. Why can't you be nice like your son here?
Countess, it would indeed be a miracle if you could do anything with that person.
Then I accept your challenge. I will make...
challenge?
A challenge? I will make a lady out of this poor creature. If you will give a party next Friday night at your hotel, I will bring Miss Lumpwamper.
Bring her to a party of mine.
I give you my royal word that she will be a completely new person. And if my charm method works, will you finance my schools?
Well, I don't know.
Shut up, Fred. We'll do it, Countess. But I don't see how you can make a silk purse out of that sow's ear.
That does it, lady. Okay, I'm gonna knock your teeth out.
Now. I will take this poor, wretched bit of flotsam and jetsam, battered and buffeted by the stormy sea of life, and I will perform a complete metamorphosis on it.
What are you gonna do to who?
I shall make a lady out of this dreary, drab drudge, this slovenly...
Slob.
Now, I have work to do. If I'm going to perform this miracle, I'll need every minute.
Every minute for the next 10 years, I would think.
Well, now, my dear, I will see you Friday at your suite, 8 o'clock.
Until then,
Yes,
Countess.
hello.
Bye-bye, Fred.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Avianto. We did it. Well, Mrs. Dunbar, this is a perfectly delightful party. It reminds me of some of our soirees at home.
But thank you. We tried to provide the proper setting for your protege to debut.
Well, that's very kind.
It's the same in crude oil. We like to celebrate a new well.
Quiet, Fred. When is Miss Lumpwamper coming?
Oh, she'll be here. I've taught her it's more charming to be late.
Oh, we're having a special unveiling tonight.
I'll tell her, Fred. We're having a special unveiling tonight. A new work by Garbanzo.
Oh, yes.
But we love art. In our place in New York, we have 2 Picassos.
Oh, really? Well, Pablo is wonderful. He did some work at my villa on the Riviera.
Picasso painted your portrait?
No, he painted my kitchen.
Miss Liza Lumpwamper.
think of my creation?
I think she's beautiful.
Quiet, Fred. Well, she doesn't look bad on the surface, but can she talk?
Say something, Liza.
The rain in Maine falls plainly on the grain.
That was very good, my dear. Now mingle with the guests. À tout à l'heure.
See you later, fat lady.
I haven't quite finished with her yet.
Oh.
No.
I think you did a wonderful job. She looks beautiful.
Well,
Oh, shut up, Fred.
Oh, I'm sorry, fat lady.
Countess, I'd like to have you meet some of our...
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Very kind.
Excuse me, Miss Lumpwamper.
Yes, Mr. Dunbar.
I thought you might like to try some of these.
Oh, thank you. Isn't that nice of you? Oh, my, they're delicious.
Well, you look pretty delicious, too, Miss Lumpwamper.
Oh, Fred.
Yes, I've never seen such a change in a person in my life. Why, it's like a beautiful butterfly emerging from a cocoon.
Fred, what a very nice thing to say. And you know, I think it's the first time I've ever heard you finish a complete sentence.
It felt so good.
What you mean? Oh, Fred, you're so nice. These are delicious.
Oh, well, I'll bring you some more.
Oh, would you?
Yes.
Oh, I'd appreciate that so much. Oh, they're just wonderful.
I'll be right back.
Hurry back.
Lucy, do you know what you're doing?
Yes. I'm getting along with Fred very well. I think I've got him hooked.
No, you're eating those canapes.
Yes, I know. But I'm eating them very daintily. I have my pinky out.
I thought you said you were allergic to caviar.
Oh, I am. I can't stand caviar. I get hives.
That's caviar.
I didn't notice.
Well,
Oh, what am I going to do?
well, if I know hives, you're going to itch.
Oh, I know I'm going to itch.
Yes, I know. But if you're going to scratch, scratch daintily and leave the pinky out. Lucy, stop scratching in front of all these people.
I can't help it. I itch in front of all these people.
Stop for a minute.
Oh,
Oh, dear. Here comes that Mrs. Balance. Let's get out here. Come on. Oh, Countess. Countess. Yes, my dear.
Countess, my husband and I are going to France next month, and we would love to see your chateau.
Oh.
How do we get there?
Well, it's rather difficult to explain. That means you take the boat train from Le Havre to Paris, then you go south to Marseille, then up to Lyon.
why don't you draw a map?
A map?
Yes, right here.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's a marked idea that I can explain here, yes.
Yes.
Well, now, you take the boat train from Le Havre to Paris.
Oh.
Now, while you're in Paris, I would suggest that you see the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, it's higher.
It is. Very tall, and it has a very broad base.
Yeah.
Very broad base. Now, don't get it confused with the Arc de Triomphe, which is shaped like this.
Oh, you should see both of them, though.
Well, once you've left Paris, you go straight to Marseille.
Oh.
Yes. Then you go north to Lyon.
Oh, we should go south again.
No. We are going to take the scenic route. You see, from Lyon, it's very nice to take the scenic route, which is perfectly charming and has all kinds of trees and lovely countryside.
I adore that scenic route.
And then, will you just ask anybody around, and they will direct you to my chateau.
Oh, thank you so much. We're just itching to get started.
Oh, dear. Give me that trip through France again.
I cannot stand it.
Oh, what am
I
I gonna
cannot
do?
stand
I
here
can't
and
stand
scratch
it.
you all the
I
time.
can't stand it.
Well,
I can't
what
stand
can we
it.
do? Oh.
Listen, put some ice on my back. Maybe that'll relieve
Yes,
it.
come on, let's try that. Here now. Right here, I'll try to find some. Lucille, people are watching. watching.
Oh, get me a big chunk.
Well, it's slippery. I can't find any. Wait a minute.
Let me get it.
All
Let me
right.
get it.
Miss Lumpwalker, what are you doing?
Did you find my earring, Liza?
What?
My earring dropped in the punch
Oh,
bowl.
no, I haven't found
Yes,
it yet.
well, do try, my dear. She's searching for my earring. I lost one, you see.
But, Countess, you're wearing your earrings.
Yes, well, it's a spare. I always carry a spare. My dear, never mind, just never mind. I wonder if you'd mind excusing us, please, Mrs. Dunbar. Liza, I think we should go home.
No, I'll be all right if I could just find some place to hide for some uninterrupted scratching.
I know, but there are people in every room.
Well, I'll find a place. We've almost got these people convinced we don't want to do anything wrong now.
No.
We'll have to start from scratch.
Oh.
Why did I say that?
Countess,
Yes, my dear.
where is Miss Lumpwalker?
Well, I'm not sure. I think she's around here somewhere.
Well, it's time to unveil the statue.
Oh, dear. Well,
Attention, everybody! Everybody! Gather round, everybody. It's unveiling time. The new work by that great futuristic sculptor, Gabanzo. This is nothing but a slovenly charwoman. She'll never be anything else.
Now, just a minute.
now, just a minute. We have to remember our manners.
Our manners?
Yes, a real lady knows. There's a proper time for everything.
Right at the base of the Eiffel Tower.
Lucy, I have just got to get a job.
A job? But you're a countess.
Well, even a countess has to have money.
Well, I have never thought it was right for nobility to work.
Honey, there's an old French proverb. When you're behind the 8 ball, you'll stoop to anything to get a meatball. Well, I guess it's my turn to do the dishes. But knowing how strongly you feel about nobility working...
I don't feel that strongly about it. Well, Mr. Mooney, what a surprise.
Are we alone?
Yes.
Good.
Why, Mr. Mooney, you are a married man.
That is not the reason I wanted to see you alone. Oh, you were joking. Oh, I've always said you had a delightful sense of humor.
I've never heard you say that before. Are you feeling all right?
Well, of course I'm feeling all right. Oh, Mr. Carmichael, do you remember coming to the bank yesterday morning and asking me for a $50 loan?
How could I ever forget? You screamed and turned purple.
Well, tonight, color me a lovable pink. Here's your 50.
Oh, Mr. Mooney, thank you so much. Oh, this is just wonderful.
Oh, it's nothing.
But it is. You don't know. You don't know what a help this is going to be. Mr. Mooney, if I can ever do you a favor...
Oh, you can.
Boy, you collect fast. Mr. Mooney, this was all a plot. You gave me this advance because you want me to do a favor.
All right, Mrs. Carmichael. But I'm desperate.
Desperate?
Yes. In all my years as a banker, I have never made a mistake.
Never?
Never. Until recently, I made a bad loan to the Lazy Days Health Farm. Now they're going broke, and they're about to renege. And what's more, next month, the bank directors are meeting, and they'll find out about it.
What'll they do to you?
Well, they'll do more than make me stand in a corner. Now, Mrs. Carmichael, you can help me.
Me? How?
Well, please, sit down. Now, look, I have analyzed the problem, and what the health farm needs is publicity, something to attract customers. Now, I thought if some well-known personality, some socially prominent, beautiful lady signed up for the health course, that would do the trick.
Well, I would be delighted to take the course.
I wasn't referring to you. No, I was referring to the Countess Framboise.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, of course, I couldn't offer the Countess a crass commercial proposition. Knowing that she's nobility, money is the farthest thing from her mind.
Yeah, and it's getting farther and farther.
But, Mrs. Carmichael, as a favor, could you talk her into this?
Well, I'll do the best I can, but you understand this must be handled in a very genteel manner. After all, we are dealing with a countess.
Oh, God.
Hey, Lucy, how do you work the garbage disposal? Oh, Mr. Money.
That's Mooney.
Oh, yes, c'est charmant de vous voir encore.
Oh, the encore is all mine. Oh.
Oh, how galant.
Countess, Mr. Mooney would like to ask a favor of you.
Oh?
You see, he made a loan to a health farm that isn't doing so well. And he thought that if you went there for a course, it would give them a lot of good publicity.
You mean use my name as an endorsement?
Oh, no, please, Countess, don't get the wrong idea. There would be no commercial stigma attached.
No, you would just be doing some poor soul a good deed. It would be sort of a benevolent gesture on your part. Mm-hmm. And for doing it, you ought to get a bundle of loot.
Mrs. Carmichael! Please, don't be vulgar. Dear Countess, I wouldn't think of insulting you by offering you money.
Oh, you wouldn't?
No.
Well, perhaps you could show your appreciation by making a donation to my favorite charity.
Oh, splendid. Yes, let's say $100 to your favorite charity. Well, that keeps it all on an elevated plane.
Yes, well, let's elevate it a little more. $200.
Of course, yes. $200. There'll be a check made out to your favorite charity.
Oh, well, could you make it out to me personally? You see, my charity just changes from week to week. Oh, and Mr. Mooney, I think that it would be very nice if Mrs. Carmichael joined me at the health farm.
Oh, you mean a sort of a lady-in-waiting?
Yes. And the lady-in-waiting is waiting.
Waiting for what?
My loot.
No, Mrs. Carmichael, I didn't say that.
Mr. Mooney, I don't see how I can possibly go to the health farm unless Mrs. Carmichael gets her, what a quaint word, loot.
Very well, $200 apiece, anything to save the health farm. But in exchange, ladies, you must obey all the rules and set a good example.
Oh, don't you worry about a thing, Mr. Mooney, as long as we get our loot.
Yes. But when would you want us to be there?
Oh, tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow morning?
Yes.
Well, we'll see you when we get back, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, you'll see me sooner than that.
What do you mean?
Well, as an economy measure, I have taken over the job of physical instructor at the health farm.
You? What do you know about being a physical instructor?
Well, I assure you I'm very well qualified. At college, I was an all-round athlete. I had a fine build, bulging muscles. Of course, that's all behind me now.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow morning, Mr. Mooney.
Countess? Oh.
$200 apiece. How about that?
And why aren't we with the group?
Well, we thought we'd join you the next time around.
You two ladies are supposed to set an example. And let me remind you about the $200 donation to your favorite charity.
Oh, come on, Mr. Mooney. Do you expect us to do these strenuous exercises with no food or water?
Countess, I think you're getting all the food that you require.
300 calories a day.
They're doing all right on 300 calories a day.
Well, they came equipped with a reserve supply.
Oh, for heaven's sake. All right, girls, line up. Straight line now. Come along. Hurry up, hurry up. A little pep, a little ginger. Let's go. Now then, good. Come along. Get in line. Are you in the right place? Are you in the right? Yes. All right. Now, this is our swivel hip exercises. You know how it goes. Up, down, left, right. You know that? All right now, girls. And up, down, left, right. Up, down, left, right. Do it faster. Stretch your muscles. Shakes the sweat right off your muscles. Up, down, left, right. All right, all right. Hold it, hold it. Mrs. Carmichael, what seems to be your problem?
Well, I was doing all right on my onesies and twosies, but I keep bruising my threesies.
All right, now let's get to something else. You two go over on the pulleys, you two on the mat, and you two... Oh, I beg your pardon. Over here. And you two row. All right, now let's get going. That's it, a little strength. That's good. And up and that's it. That's very good. Very good. That's fine. You're doing all right.
Set a good example.
Yes. All right. Come on. Come on. There we go.
Oh.
And why aren't we rowing?
I'm floating downstream.
And you? Are you waiting for the light to change?
Well, I started to get seasick.
Oh, all right, come. Gather around quickly now. Come on. Come on. Countess, will you please? Countess, please come and get into line where you belong. All right now, girls, come on. Have you got your towels? Are you in line? No, we're going out into the fresh air and climb the mountains. Isn't that lovely?
That should be very interesting, watching these mountains climb another mountain.
All right. Now then, in place, double time.
Yes.
Forward! March!
are. It's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
You know something? We have just got to think of some way to get some food. The stuff they serve around here.
Yeah, instant nothing.
We need real food like meat and potatoes and pie a la mode, just covered with
please,
whipped
come
cream
on.
and ice cream.
Carmichael,
there
we're
he is,
waiting.
there he is.
The Simon Legree of the concentration camp. Oh, come on. Might as well.
Hey, wait a minute. I got an idea.
What?
You know, maybe if we made it look like an emergency, you know, like we were really cracking up from starvation, maybe they'd give us some solid food.
Yeah, maybe they would.
Ladies, where are you?
Here he comes.
Yeah.
Now, remember, we're dying of starvation. Let's put on an act.
Well, I don't know about you, but I won't be putting on an act.
Ladies.
Food, just
A piece of bread.
Just a
a morsel. A little crumb. Could I have some fish? Sardines. Anything. A cracker.
I am not moved. You cannot fool me with this ridiculous, phony act. Now, you cannot be as hungry as all that.
Lucy, should we show him how hungry we really are?
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing all right, too. That's fine. Oh, 10 minutes are up. Turn off your machine. Turn off your machine, girls. And gather round, please. Gather round. Now, ladies, we are going to have fun. There's nothing for toning up the muscles. I always say, nothing like a good old-fashioned tug of war. Isn't that wonderful? Now then, you go over there, you be one team. You come over here, you'll be the other team. There we are. Get over there. Now, hurry up, girls. Come along. Move along. That's right. You want to take that? Yeah. All right. All right. Now, grab her over there. That's right. Now then, remember to put a strain on it. Are you... Let's get over here a little bit more. Don't... Oh, my heavens. All right, now. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Tug! Have you?
Now, just a minute. This isn't fair.
This isn't fair. We'll trade one of ours for two of yours.
Yeah, this one.
All right. Now, are we ready?
Yes.
Oh, good, good. All right, now. Tug! That's it. Put a lot of muscle in it. Lean on them. That's right. Lean hard. That's right. Dig your feet in. Now you feel those muscles tingling all around your back. That's it. All right. Dig in there, girls. Dig in. That's it. Oh, she's ready. Pull on. Pull on. That's it. Oh, good, good, good. Oh, that's fine. Ah, you're doing very well. You feel it all in the back there. Oh, that's it. All right. That's it. All right. Don't let it go slide. There we are. Go. Go, go, go. Go the other way, Jenny. They're beating you. They're beating you, Jenny. Get the other way. Pull hard, Jenny. There we are. That's good. Hold that. Hold that. Hold. That is not cricket!
Oh, now, Mr. Mooney, you better watch out, Mr. Mooney.
Oh, no, you better watch out.
No, you better watch out.
You better...
They just don't build walls like they used to.
Go, You're not in that line. Right, go on, Max. Here you are. There's your lovely lunch. A lovely lunch for you, too. Oh, isn't that delicious? Just makes me drool to look at it. There you are. And there... Oh, your lunch, Countess, and yours.
Same old gourmet special. One lettuce leaf, a curl of carrot, a sprig of parsley, and a yogurt wafer.
Sort of a no care package.
Let's get going and stuff ourselves.
Oh, let's do it. I could eat anything anyway.
Oh,
Sometimes
boy.
I wish I were back
How'd
with
we
my
ever-
dear departed husband.
How we ever let ourselves in for this, I don't know.
I just so weak. I don't know whether I have the strength to eat this.
Oh, I'd better get out of here. If you saw what I had for dessert, delicious deep dish strawberry shortcake smothered in whipped cream. Oh, you'd really go for sir.
Well, just give us a little bite. Just a tiny little bite. Just. Oh, Lucy, I just don't know what. Lucy, Lucy? Lucy?
Ladyfinger!
Oh, no!
I gotta have food. I'm gonna have
Just a minute. Last night I sneaked over to the farm next door and I found something.
What'd you get? What'd you find?
Well, never mind.
What'd you get? You got something to eat?
Yes, I got
What have you got?
I stashed it. I stashed it right.
What is
here.
it?
Fresh egg.
Oh!
I was saving it for an emergency.
Well, this is it. Sit on it and hatch it.
That is insulting. Now we will eat it raw.
Raw?
Yes, raw eggs are very nourishing. Now, how can I divide this?
Well, here, I'll show you.
No, oh, no, I want it. I don't like you.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, Rosie. I'll make it up to you.
I'm sorry. Did you hear what I heard?
The most beautiful sound in the world.
Oh, hello, Bossy. A bossy cow. Come on, baby.
Come on, Bossy.
Come on, baby.
Come on, Bossy.
Oh, isn't she beautiful?
Hello, Bossy. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but we can't eat her raw.
No. Maybe we can get some. You know how to get some milk out of her?
Well, well, there's a lot of faucets down here.
You gotta have a stool. Get the stool back there.
What stool?
Right there. He had it. Get the stool. Put it up.
How are we going to get her to sit on it?
Sit on it, silly. Now, there's a bucket. There's a bucket over in the barn there. Go get the bucket.
Oh.
Yeah. Come on.
Go ahead, honey.
She doesn't do it all by herself.
Oh, what should I do?
Well, just grab on and make believe you're climbing a rope.
Maybe we can get her to do the twist. I'd love a milkshake.
Push on! Push on!
I think the word is pull.
All right, pull. Well, now what's the matter?
Well, I'm not. She looks like a friendly cow, but I wouldn't want her to get mad at me.
She won't get mad at you.
Well, she might kick me.
Oh, she will not. Oh, listen.
What?
I read somewhere where they play music in those barns to keep the cows happy.
Oh?
Yes, so why don't I sing to her and you milk her?
Oh, you think you know something she might like?
Yeah. Sit down, and I'll try.
Make like I'm climbing a rope, huh?
La da dee da dum. La da 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 dum.
factory. Sit down.
Shoot the juice to me, Luce.
You don't want a refill, huh?
No, and I can't even see.
Back there. Now I've caught you in the act. I've had nothing but trouble since this health farm moved in here. I knew you women were sneaking over and stealing my stuff, and now I've caught you red-handed.
And white-faced.
I'd like to buy this place and get rid of the whole kit and caboodle.
Buy it.
Well, why don't you?
Yeah. You got any money?
Well, I got plenty of money, but they won't sell it to me.
Wait. Who won't sell it to you?
Oh, boy. When Mooney hears money, he comes in on the beam.
Sir, my bank happens to hold the mortgage on that property. Now, we'd be happy to talk business with you.
Well, that's okay with me.
Oh, fine. What was your name, sir?
Mr.
Oh,
Mooney.
Johnson, yes.
Mr. Mooney, the Countess and I have been very helpful to you, and we were just wondering, we still get our loot?
Mrs. Carmichael, you were supposed to obey, but you disobeyed, so you get no loot. Your name was Johnson.
Johnson.
Well, I happen to have the mortgage right here in my pocket. I always carry it with me just in case. Well, here we are. Now, let's see. Now, this is on a 5% loan. That's all it is. We'll amortize it over 20 or 30 years. And you'll see the payments are very low.
Fire one.
You.
The Countess sure has a lot of luggage.
Yeah. Come here, Jared. Give me a hand, will you? Well, you didn't strain yourself, did you, son? Oh.
There.
Oh, I think that's about all of it. I hope so. Hey, where's the Countess?
I don't know.
Countess!
I'm going to miss all of you so much.
I hate to see you go, Rosie.
I sure hate to see you leave. I just learned how to pronounce your name.
I wish you could stay, Rosie.
Oh, so do I. But with Vivian coming home, she'll need a room.
Yeah.
Besides, I'll be all right in the hotel, dear. Don't worry.
Okay, darling. Answer the phone, will you, sweetheart? I got your jewelry case here,
it?
darling.
Just put
What do
it
you mean,
there.
where is it? It's right over there, honey. Oh, really? Not again. Oh, that long cord will be the death of me yet. All right, keep your shirt on. I'm coming. Rosie, you packed the telephone in your trunk.
You're going to miss me around here.
Hello? No, I'm sorry. This is not Irving's Meat Market. Well, I can't help it. If it's a number, it is not the market. All right, madam, I'll send you 2 pounds of ground round. Honey, will you go upstairs and straighten out Aunt Viv's room? You help her, too, will you, sweetheart? Don't forget to say goodbye to the Countess.
Goodbye, darling.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Goodbye, darling. Bye-bye.
Come in!
Oh, look, it's me. I'm home.
Vivian! Oh, Viv, it's so good to see you. I didn't hear you. Where are you?
Oh, honey, I missed you so. Oh, you changed your hair. I made a mistake. Oh, I made a mistake. Oh, honey, I'm so glad to see you. I thought I would.
You're the Countess.
And you're Vivian.
Yeah, oh,
How do you
so
do?
nice. Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm so glad you slept in my bed.
Oh, really?
I bet I'm the only person in this whole town who's had royalty sleep in their beds.
Well, dear, I'm not really royalty.
Oh, you are, too.
No, I am not. I'm just plain old Rosie Harrigan. I'm a countess because I happen to marry a count.
Oh, there's still hope for me. Maybe someday a prince will come along and sweep me off my feet.
He's gonna need a big broom.
Yes, Sherman?
Where should I put your suitcase?
Oh, put that up in my room, honey. I don't want to get it all mixed up with the Countess's luggage here.
While you're up there, darling, will you help the kids straighten out Mom's room?
Yeah, do your share.
Okay.
My goodness, Countess, is all this luggage yours?
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Ooh, Calcutta, Melbourne, Thailand, Bangkok, and Hong Kong. Have you been to all those places?
No, I just use the labels to cover the holes in the baggage.
That's not true.
Oh, come on.
Oh, that phone. No, this is not Irving's Meat Market. Oh, I'm sorry. Just a moment, please. Yeah, it's a telegram for you, Rosie.
Oh. Hello? Yes? This is she speaking? Yes? Yes? No. Oh, dear. Oh, yes, thank you very much.
Bad news?
Sort of. Lord and Lady Van Cleve are arriving in the States and expect to spend the weekend with me.
Lord and Lady Van Cleve.
You know him, Lucy?
No, but I know that they're nobility. And what are you going to do? You can't entertain them in a hotel room.
No.
Well, they'll expect you to be living in a big, beautiful chateau.
Yes, little do they know je n'ai pas d'argent.
What does that mean, Rosie?
I'm flat broke, honey.
Dear.
What am I going to do?
Well, we'll just have to find you a chateau.
Well, now, that should be easy. If we can't find one, we have till a weekend to build one.
But I have to find a place to entertain them.
Now, wait a minute. The bank handles a lot of real estate.
Uh-huh.
Maybe Mr. Mooney will tell us where to go.
Oh, he'll tell you where to go, all right. I'm afraid it'll be a little too warm to entertain them.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he wouldn't do it for me, but he'll do it for the Countess. He's quite impressed with Rosie.
Oh, he is?
Oh, yes. Every time he sees me, he fawns all over me.
Yeah, he clicks his heels and kisses her hand.
Oh, don't tell me Mr. Mooney's turned into a knuckle nibbler. Oh, this I gotta see, girl.
Well, come on with us and you'll see it.
No, I gotta stay here and unpack.
Well, come on, Rosie, let's get going.
Well, all right, fine. I'll be... Oh, I'd better take this ring off before we see him.
Don't you trust Mr.
Oh,
Mooney?
yes. But the last time he kissed my hand, he broke his pivot tooth on it.
Come on, Rosie, hurry up.
I'm coming. Bye-bye.
Yes, J.D., it's been a wonderful day. Yes, the board of directors are considering increasing the dividend and giving me a nice bonus. Yeah, everything's coming up roses. Some poison ivy just came in. I'll call you back, J.D.
Good morning, Mr. Mooney.
Mrs. Carmichael, I am a very busy man. I have no time. Countess! Bonjour! Oh, merci à mille fois.
Vous êtes très charmant.
Please, be seated.
Okay.
Not you. Oh, it's so good to see you again, Countess. You are positively radiant, my dear.
Thank you, Mr. Money.
No, that's Mooney. Now, to what do I owe the honor of this visit?
Mon ami, I have a problem.
My dear Countess, what kind of a problem? Confide in me.
Yes. Well, some very dear friends of mine are arriving to pay me a visit. Lord and Lady Van Cleve.
A real lord and lady here in Danfield? Oh, wait till I tell my wife. Oh.
Your wife? Oh, yes, I always forget that you're married. But it seems all handsome men are. Your wife is a very fortunate woman.
Yes, she is. Of course, it wasn't easy for her. I was quite a difficult catch.
Most foul balls are.
Now, Countess, about your problem.
Yes, my problem. Well, as I was saying, Lord and Lady Van Cleve expect to stay with me, of course, and I haven't a suitable place to put them.
You see, she can't expect a lord and lady to stay at my house.
Naturally. That would be like putting champagne in a beer bottle.
Now, just a minute. There's nothing wrong with my house. It's just that I think the Countess needs something more befitting her position. You know, like a beautiful estate.
Yes, that's right. And that's why I came to you. You have such impeccable taste. Now, I was wondering if you could suggest something.
Well, I don't think we have any large, beautiful estates in our small town,
Oh,
Countess.
dear.
No, wait a minute. We do have just one.
Ah?
Mm-hmm. The Bellingham estate.
The Bellingham.
Quite old, but very elegant.
Uh-huh.
And the bank handles it, too. It might be just perfect for you.
Oh, well, I'll take it.
Good, good. Now, about the price.
Never mind discussing money, Mr. Mooney. You see, on the continent, we have a custom. We never buy an estate outright. We live in it for a week or so, and if it suits our personality, we buy it. If not, c'est la vie.
La vie, say. Yes, indeed. Well, that sounds fair enough. Now, let me see if yes. There we are. There's the Bellingham estate.
Thank you, you darling man. You are wonderful.
I know. Oh, I think it only fair to warn you, Countess, the house hasn't been lived in for a long time. It may need some work.
Oh, that's quite all right. I'm having my household staff sent over from Paris.
Will they get here in time?
Yes, she's having them air-mailed. Yes, I know how to find it.
All right, fine.
Countess!
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh.
Well.
Mademoiselle from Armentier, parlez-vous.
Just take care of it.
No. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it. It's... Oh, what a mess. If they ran water through it, it would look like the sewers of Paris. Lucy, I can't let my guests come here.
Well, now, don't get panicky, Rosie. We'll hire a crew of men to come in here and clean this place all up.
But that costs money.
Well, all right, then we'll pitch in and clean it up
Oh,
ourselves.
my
Viv will help us. She's just wonderful at this. Now, all we have to know is what has to be done.
Yeah,
We'll just find out what has to be done, and we'll get started. Now, first of all, of course, it'll need a thorough cleaning, and we'll need new wallpaper, and those tables will have to be fixed, and the chairs will have to be fixed, and the door will have to be rehung, and we can always get... And the floor will have to be fixed. Don't worry about that. I'll fix the floor myself.
Yes. Well, this place is hopeless. It really is hopeless. My guests will be here this weekend, and what will happen? But you'll never get that fixed.
Oh, sure we will, Rosie. That isn't hard to fix.
No. It's impossible.
No, Rosie, nothing is impossible if we apply ourselves. Now, we'll just make a list of what we need and get started. Now, we're going to need wallpaper. We're going to have... Oh, Rosie, look. I used to see these things in the movies.
Yeah.
I think I'll call the butler. I'm trying to... Tim, stop pushing.
I'm not doing anything. Now, you'll have to back up with it. Come on, back up and
This is
start all
heavy,
over.
Viv. Be careful.
Will you quit fighting?
Hey, be careful. Watch where you're going with that.
a ladder, for heaven's sake. Now, we haven't got any time to play around and make jokes. Oh, that. Now, come on, get over there and get that paste on that paper. Listen, you know something? I'm going to have to build a scaffold.
How you going to build a scaffold?
I'm going to use that plank there. Rosie, will you put this ladder by the window?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, heaven.
Viv,
Yeah?
be sure that you fix the leg on that table.
What table?
That table. Listen, Rosie.
Yes?
You get a hold of one end of this plank.
Watch that.
I want you to get a hold of one end of the plank, Rosie, and help me put it up on top of
All
the
right.
ladder.
Okay.
Between the ladders, you
All
know.
right, between the ladders.
Yeah.
The plank's too long.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to get a shorter plank.
Yes, we are. Come on.
Did you ever think of moving the ladders farther and farther?
I could do it that way.
It's a very intelligent suggestion. Come on, let's do it.
Okay. You got it? Hold.
All right, come on, get it up there. Okay. All right, now wait a minute. I got to fix this here.
All right. Got it back far enough?
Yeah.
You never looked lovelier.
Never mind. Just stick to your wallpaper.
Come on, put it up on the top, Lucy. On the top, girl. That girl. Put it there. We
Okay,
go.
okay.
That's a very nice scaffold. Now,
All right.
Lucy,
Yeah?
I got the first piece of wallpaper fixed. Where'll I put it up?
Right over there on that wall.
okay.
It is Mr. Mooney. Get away from me, you two. What do you two clowns think you're doing?
We're sorry, Mr. Moon.
Sorry, my foot. I walked in here and I got hit with a ladder and then with a plank, and now you're wallpapering me. I don't... Countess.
Please forgive me. I'm so
Please,
sorry,
it's
my dear.
my fault. I'm just a clumsy old...
Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. We're just trying to get this place presentable.
Oh,
you
I
know?
see.
I mean, really, I
Oh,
was...
my goodness, I didn't realize it was in such deplorable condition.
But we'll manage to get you
I somehow get the feeling you shouldn't be doing this kind of work.
He is right.
Not you! You get busy. What we need is a little organization.
Yes,
Now,
organization.
go on,
exactly.
Countess. With my help, we'll have this place fixed up for you in no time.
Thank you.
Yes. Now then, you come over here. Now then, you do the wallpapering and you repair the furniture, right?
Yes.
All right. Now then, you come over here. You do the painting and the cleaning up. You've got lots of equipment there.
Take it easy, Countess.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to play golf.
Oh, Countess.
I'm so sorry.
Absolutely right. All we need is organization. Now, Lucy, you do the papering and the cleaning up, and Countess, you mend the furniture.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to caddy for Mr. Mooney. Lucy, I think it just looks great.
Great. It looks wonderful. Brand new.
Well, I think I've got the upstairs rooms looking presentable.
Well, so do you.
Oh, Rosie, you look wonderful. We better get home and get our clothes changed.
Girls, this is absolutely amazing. It's marvelous what you have done. Oh, but I think
Don't touch that chair. Don't touch it. I just varnished it and it's still wet.
Yeah.
Well, Lucy, you did a marvelous job with the wallpaper. It looks really professional.
Well, thank you. Once I set my mind to something, I do it.
Yes.
If I say so myself, this room does look beautiful.
Doesn't it now?
Don't you think it's a little dark?
Well, pull up the shade.
What shade?
The shade in the window.
What window?
Oh, come on, babe. The window.
Lucy, you didn't.
Yes, she did.
How could anybody paper over a window?
Oh, if you're Lucy, it's easy.
Now, don't be snide. I'll find the window.
All right.
Find the window.
I found it. I'll let some air in here.
How could anyone do a thing like
Now,
that?
don't worry. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. Well, it must be Mr. Mooney. Come in.
Darlings, how lovely to see you.
Hi, Countess.
I didn't expect you so early.
I rang your doorbell, but evidently it isn't working.
Oh, but
You know, our plane got in much too soon.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry, but I expected you this evening. Oh, here you go.
Well, there's
This is my staff.
Your staff?
Really?
Yes, you see, in this little village, we have a quaint custom. Yes, the local help hold down 2 jobs simultaneously. I think you call it moonshining or something. This is Bagley.
I'm the cook and the house painter. Combination, both jobs.
And this is Carmichael.
Your Highnesses, I'm a combination upstairs maid and downstairs wallpaperer.
Yes, very good, yes. Well, come along and, Carmichael, take his lordship's hat, will you please?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Your hat, your lordliness.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's terribly nice of you to come.
It's a lovely old staircase. You tell me.
So terribly happy to see you. Now,
Well,
come
we're
along,
delighted to
my
be here.
dear.
Oh, are you a great wallpaperer?
You didn't do too well on that table either.
No, I didn't.
What's that? What's that?
It's the tea kettle. Rosie was going to fix some tea for the lord
Oh,
and lady.
that's a good idea. I'll get them some tea. Englishmen just love tea.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, okay.
Fix that. I'll fix that.
You're a lovely daughter. Well, thank you very much.
Magnificent.
It's a bit weedy at the moment.
Oh, no.
Yes, well, let's sit over here, shall we? Make ourselves comfortable.
Thank you, Countess.
May I make a suggestion? Why don't you have a spot of tea?
A spot of tea?
Yes.
But that's a good idea.
Oh, that would be marvelous.
Carmichael, wheel in the tea.
Very nice of them.
Carmichael, you didn't put the...
Yes. You see, I'm a combination upstairs maid and wallpaperer, and I'm also keeper of the tea bag.
Well, Bertie and Violet, do sit down.
We're delighted. They... Another one of your sudden headaches, my dear.
Not exactly.
Countess, perhaps we should have tea right about in
Yes,
here.
let's do this. It's a very good idea. Now, bring the chair over badly for
Yes,
her
ma'am.
ladyship
Yes, ma'am.
and get a chair for his lordship. Now, please, do be.
There you go.
There you are, Countess.
Now, do be seated.
Are you all right, darling?
Quite all right, darling.
Well, I am.
I'm so terribly sorry. I'm afraid this place isn't what you're accustomed to.
Oh, no. You know, we feel very much at home here. You know, Countess, our place in England is much older than this, and it's in a constant state of disrepair.
Then you're not annoyed.
Good heavens, no, my dear. No.
Reminds us of home, my
Oh,
darling.
how sweet.
Bonjour,
Oh, Monsieur Moody. May I present my very dear friends, Lord and Lady Van Cleve.
How do you do, sir? How do you do?
So glad.
Lord and Lady Van Cleve, it's a great honor.
Reunion and royal pretensions. Lucy, Rosie, and the children meet the legend. The moment the last delivery man leaves and the door finally closes, the air in the living room changes. What had been pure kinetic chaos bodies, bags, shouted instructions settles into something quieter and far more dangerous, the long-delayed face-to-face reunion of two women who once knew each other by simpler names. I have always held my breath at this transition. The luggage is still everywhere, a silent audience of leather and labels. But the real drama now moves into the space between Lucy and Rosie, a space charged with affection, performance, and the first delicate negotiations of truth. Oh, Rosie. Oh, am I glad to see you. Oh, you look so beautiful. Lucy's words tumble out in that characteristic ball cascade, each phrase tumbling over the next as if the heart is speaking faster than the mouth can manage. And Rosie answers in kind, the two of them circling each other with the slightly formal delight of people who have rehearsed this meeting in imagination for years. After all these years, you haven't changed a bit. And you haven't changed either. Except that you weren't blonde and you weren't a redhead. The joke about hair color is light, almost throwaway, yet it carries a surprising weight. Time has been allowed to touch their surfaces, hair dye, the small adjustments women make to keep presenting a continuous self to the world, but the essential recognition remains intact. I have returned to this exchange more times than I can count because it models a kind of friendship I have needed at different ages. The friendship that does not require the other person to have remained frozen in the past, only that the past still be visible beneath whatever new colors have been applied. Then the children are presented and the scene widens into a gentle comedy of introductions. Are these your children? Rosie asks, and Lucy's answer is precise and revealing. Some of them, yes. Chris and Jerry are mine, and that's Sherman, he's Viv's. The distinction is made without awkwardness. This is a household that has already expanded to include another woman's child, and now it is expanding again. Rosie's response is pure performance and pure delight at once. Ah, les enfants. Si mignons, si formidables. The French arrives like a silk scarf drawn from a sleeve, unexpected, slightly showy, and completely sincere in its desire to charm. I was enchanted by that French as a child. I used to repeat the phrase to myself in the mirror, trying to capture Southern's exact cadence, the way the words seemed to float a few inches above ordinary American speech. Now I hear something more complicated in it, the sound of a woman reaching for the one remaining currency. She still possesses style, musicality, the ability to make ordinary children feel for a moment like they have been addressed by the larger world. The children are promptly sent away. Why don't you children run along? I'd like to talk to the Countess. Lucy's voice is warm but firm. The adults need the room. The children obey with the slightly exaggerated obedience of young people who know they are being dismissed from something important. A tout à l'heure, Rosie calls after them, and the French again does double duty: part, genuine affection; part, continued construction of the Countess persona. I have always loved how the script lets the children linger at the edges of the frame even after they have been told to leave. Their presence has already altered the emotional temperature of the reunion. They are living proof that Lucy's life has continued, has deepened, has taken on the ordinary weight of responsibility. Rosie, by contrast, arrives unencumbered by children and almost entirely unencumbered by anything else. Once the children are gone, the conversation turns to the late husband and the comedy becomes simultaneously broader and more intimate. Lucy asks the name she could never pronounce. Rosie's answer is a masterpiece of comic inflation: Le Comte Henri Gaston Armand Jean-Louis Philippe, Framboise de Cul-de-Sac. The name unspools like a ceremonial carpet, each additional given name, adding another layer of absurd grandeur. And then the private correction. But I called him sexy. The juxtaposition is perfect. The public title is a cathedral of syllables. The private nickname is a single affectionate, slightly naughty English word. In that single contrast, the entire marriage is sketched: public spectacle and private tenderness, European formality and American intimacy. I laugh every time, and every time the laugh contains a small ache. The man is gone. Only the name and the nickname remain, and the nickname is the one that still carries warmth. Lucy's response: sexy. Oh, how cute. Go on, tell me what happened. Rosie is pure invitation. She wants the story. She wants the texture of the years she missed. And Rosie, with the practiced rhythm of someone who has told this story before, delivers the condensed biography of a widow: the year of wandering around Europe after the death, the eventual decision to come back to Danfield for a while. The phrase "for a while" is doing a great deal of work. It leaves every option open. It protects the speaker from having to admit that there may be nowhere else to go. I have always heard in that phrase the sound of a woman trying to keep her dignity intact while the floor beneath her is already tilting. Then the confession arrives and the temperature drops. Lucy, still operating inside the romance of the title, asks whether Rosie might buy an estate and settle down. The answer is quiet and devastating: well, it's not very likely. I'm flat broke. The two words land with the force of a dropped suitcase. You're broke. Broke. Lucy's repetition is pure shock, pure refusal to accept the information at first hearing. And Rosie's explanation is delivered with a kind of weary elegance. All my husband left me was his noble title and all his noble debts. The symmetry of the sentence is beautiful and brutal. Title and debts. The two inheritances cancel each other out, leaving only the performance of the title and the reality of the debts. I have never been able to hear that line without feeling a small protective anger on Rosie's behalf. The world that gave her a long French name and a place in society columns did not trouble itself to leave her solvent. Lucy's next observation is pure practical intelligence. That looked like an awful lot of money you were tipping those delivery men. The remark could have been accusatory. In Ball's hands and in the rhythm of the script, it becomes something closer to worried affection. She has noticed, she has been watching the performance and already beginning to calculate its cost. Rosie's answer is one of the most quietly heartbreaking lines in the entire composite. Well, I have to keep up appearances. And that was my farewell appearance. The finality of farewell is almost unbearable. She has spent the last of her cash on a gesture of grandeur because the gesture itself was the only remaining proof that she still belonged to the world the labels on her luggage once promised. After this, the performance will have to continue without even the small supporting currency of tips. I have carried that line with me for years. There are times in any life when the last coin is spent not on necessity but on the maintenance of a self that is already disappearing. Rosie spends it on the delivery men so that the Countess can exit the scene of arrival still looking like a countess. What moves me most in this entire sequence is the speed with which Lucy absorbs the new reality without withdrawing her welcome. There is a brief flicker of disbelief, a moment of recalibration, and then the friendship simply continues on new terms. The house is still open. The children have already been introduced. The luggage is already inside. The fact of poverty does not reverse any of those decisions. In the moral universe of the Lucy Show, that refusal to reverse course is a form of quiet heroism. Lucy does not lecture. She does not demand explanations beyond what has been given. She simply begins in the next beats of the scene to live inside the new information. I think often of how this reunion must have felt to viewers in 1965. The culture was full of stories about women who had married well and then discovered that the well was dry. The Countess Framboise is both a fantasy figure and a cautionary one, proof that a title is not a pension, that European glamour can arrive in America already exhausted, and yet the script refuses to punish Rosie for the fantasy. It lets her keep the accent, the gestures, the residual grandeur. It lets Lucy keep loving her. That combination of clear-eyed realism and stubborn tenderness is one of the reasons these episodes have remained alive for me across decades. They understand that people are allowed to be both ridiculous and worthy of care at the same time. The children, though dismissed, have already done their important work. They have forced Rosie to perform the Countess for a new generation, and they have forced Lucy to articulate the composition of her household out loud. Chris and Jerry are hers. Sherman is Viv's. The household is already a patchwork of loyalties, and Rosie is about to become another patch. The French phrases, the long name of the dead count, the confession of noble debts, all of it is being absorbed into the ordinary American living room that still smells, I imagine, of breakfast and furniture polish. The extraordinary is being domesticated not by force but by hospitality. When I was younger, I loved this scene for the comedy of the long name and the sweetness of the reunion. Now I love it for the way it stages the exact moment when performance and need become impossible to separate. Rosie is still performing her posture, her diction, the carefully maintained illusion that she is merely visiting rather than arriving with nowhere else to go. And Lucy is already beginning the long practical work of making room. The luggage has been the visible avalanche. This conversation is the invisible one, the avalanche of history, of loss, of a friendship being asked to carry more weight than it has ever carried before. I sit with this scene longer than any other in the early movement of the composite because it contains the seed of everything that follows. The wine-tasting society, the charm school scheme, the health farm disaster, the frantic renovation of the Bellingham estate, all of it grows out of the decision made in these few minutes that the friendship will continue, that the performance will be supported for as long as possible, that the house will stretch to accommodate both the title and the debts. There is something almost sacred in that decision when I look at it from this distance. Two women middle-aged by the standards of their time, one of them newly revealed as penniless, the other already living inside the modest economics of widowhood and shared housing, simply choose each other again. The living room is still full of trunks. The children are somewhere else in the house, probably practicing their curtsies and bows for an audience that has already seen them. And in the center of the room, Lucy and Rosie stand inside a silence that is not empty but full, full of the years that separated them, full of the stories that have not yet been told, full of the practical question that has not yet been spoken aloud but is already shaping every glance. What are we going to do now? I have asked that question of my own life more times than I care to count. The answer these episodes keep offering in their light and comic way is simply we stay in the room together. We keep talking. We keep making room. The title may be empty and the debts may be real, but the gladness Lucy felt when she first spoke Rosie's name is also real, and it is stronger than the arithmetic of insolvency. That gladness is what I keep returning for. It is what makes the long name funny rather than merely sad. What makes the French phrases charming rather than pretentious. What makes the entire avalanche of luggage feel in the end like a strange form of abundance. The legend has been met, the children have been introduced, the truth about money has been spoken, and the friendship against every practical objection has already begun its next chapter. I can still feel the exact texture of that moment, the soft shock of the confession, the quick recovery of affection, the sense that the house itself is holding its breath and then deciding along with Lucy to expand one more time. It is one of the quietest and most generous passages in the entire composite. And I have lived inside its emotional weather for most of my life. The doorbell rings while the air in the living room is still thick with the residual electricity of Rosie's confession. I have always felt a small anticipatory smile rise in me at this exact moment because I know who is on the other side of the door, and I know what the mere presence of a title is about to do to him. Mr. Mooney enters the way. He always enters slightly put upon, slightly self-important. already prepared to deliver some piece of banking news or mild reprimand, and the script wastes no time placing him inside the new gravitational field that Rosie has created. Who is it? Lucy asks, though she already knows. It's me, Mr. Mooney. The name itself is spoken with that familiar mixture of resignation and reluctant fondness that Ball always brings to these encounters. And then almost immediately, the temperature of the scene begins to change. Lucy's first instinct is pure comic self-protection. She tries to keep him at bay with the same dry wit she has used on him for years. When he expresses his eagerness to meet the Countess, she steps into the doorway of the next room and calls with exquisite mock formality, "Countess dear, are you receiving this afternoon?" Rosie's answer is gracious and open, "Any friend of yours is a friend of mine." Lucy turns back to Mooney and delivers one of the great throwaway lines of the entire composite. "Well, you heard the Countess. Any friend of mine is a friend of hers, so that freezes you out." The joke is quick, sharp, and completely characteristic. For a single beat, Lucy is still the woman who has spent years negotiating Mooney's particular blend of pomposity and tight-fistedness, and she is not yet ready to surrender the upper hand simply because a title has entered the house. But the upper hand does not last. The introduction is made and something almost chemical happens to Mr. Mooney. "May I present our leading banker, Mr. Mooney? Mr. Mooney, my oldest and dearest friend, the charming Countess Framboise." The words are scarcely out of Lucy's mouth before Mooney's entire physical and vocal posture transforms. The man who has spent entire episodes nickel and diming Lucy over bank loans and overdrafts suddenly becomes a courtier. "Oh, it's a great pleasure meeting you, Countess." The voice softens. The spine straightens. The eyes take on a shine that has nothing to do with interest rates. I have watched this metamorphosis dozens of times and it never fails to delight me with its speed and completeness. Gail Gordon understood exactly how to play the sudden collapse of a certain kind of American masculine self-importance in the presence of European aristocracy, even borrowed aristocracy. The banker who cannot be moved by ordinary human need is instantly moved by a title. Rosie, of course, meets the transformation with perfect reciprocal performance. "The pleasure is mutual, Mr. Money." The mispronunciation is deliberate and delicious. She knows exactly what she is doing. She is testing the depth of his susceptibility, and the depth proves to be considerable. When he corrects her Mooney, there is already a note of gentle, almost intimate insistence in his voice, as if the correct pronunciation of his name has become a small shared secret between them. I have always loved how quickly the power dynamic flips. For years, Lucy has been the one who must cajole, flatter, and occasionally bully Mooney into small acts of financial mercy. Now, in the space of a single introduction, Rosie has rendered him pliable with nothing more than a title and a smile. The real purpose of his visit emerges with almost comic transparency. He has not come about overdrafts or loans. He has come because he has heard the Countess is in town and he has just been elected president of the Danfield Wine Tasting Society. The invitation follows as naturally as breath. Would the Countess honor them by attending their meeting that very evening? Rosie's response is a master class in controlled delight, a wine tasting society. That sounds very gay. The word gay still carries its older, lighter meaning here, bright, festive, full of possibility, and Southern lets it float in the air with just enough continental seasoning to make Mooney beam. He is no longer a banker in this moment. He is a man who has successfully attracted the notice of aristocracy, and the success is intoxicating. Lucy naturally is not about to be left behind. When Mooney hesitates over whether Mrs. Carmichael should also attend, his instinct is clearly to keep the evening as exclusive as possible. Lucy's reply is instantaneous and classic. "Dream on. I'm free as a bird." The line is delivered with the bright, almost sing-song defiance that Ball specialized in, and it lands with perfect comic force. There is no negotiation. There is only the cheerful announcement that she will be present. Mooney's face, even in transcript form, is easy to imagine the brief flicker of dismay, the quick recalculation, the reluctant acceptance that the Countess and her American friend come as a set. "Well, we'll be happy to have you both." The happiness is clearly concentrated on one of them more than the other, but the social forms are observed. The time and place are set 8:30, the gourmet room of the Danfield Hotel, and then comes the physical punctuation mark that seals the entire encounter. Mooney takes Rosie's hand and kisses it. The gesture is courtly, slightly awkward, and completely sincere in its sudden reverence. Lucy's response is one of the great character lines of the series, a line I have quoted to myself in moments of private amusement for years. "I will treasure that kiss, Mr. Mooney. It's the only thing you've ever given me without charging interest." The joke is perfect because it is both affectionate and lethal. In a single sentence, Lucy restores the long history of their relationship, the loans refused, the interest calculated to the penny, the perpetual sense that every kindness from Mooney came with a ledger attached, and at the same time she acknowledges the extraordinary power Rosie has just demonstrated. What Lucy has never been able to extract from him with years of scheming and pleading, Rosie has extracted in minutes with a title and a smile. I have always felt a complicated tenderness toward Mooney in this scene. He is ridiculous, of course. The speed of his capitulation is pure sitcom gold. And yet there is something almost innocent in the way he falls. The title represents for him a world of culture and refinement that Danfield and the bank have never quite been able to supply. When he looks at Rosie, he sees not a broke widow with a trunk full of unpaid debts, but the possibility of elevating his own provincial existence by proximity. The wine-tasting society itself is a perfect emblem of that longing, a small-town attempt at sophistication complete with French vineyard names and solemn pronouncements about bouquet. Mooney wants to belong to something that feels larger than the bank, and the Countess, however temporary and however insolvent, seems to offer a door into that larger feeling. Lucy watches the entire transformation with the sharp, amused eyes of someone who has known both parties longer than they know each other. Her teasing is not cruel. It is the teasing of a woman who understands exactly how fragile Mooney's dignity is and who cannot resist giving it a gentle nudge. At the same time, she is already beginning to calculate. Rosie needs money. Mooney has money, or at least access to it. The fascination that has just been born in the living room may prove useful. None of this is spoken, but the groundwork is being laid in the glances, the timing, the way Lucy allows the kiss to happen and then undercuts it with the interest rate joke. She is protecting her friend and protecting her own long exasperated relationship with the banker at the same time. The scene ends with Mooney's departure, and the living room feels different after he is gone. A new element has been introduced into the chemistry of the household, the possibility that Rosie's title, empty of cash though it may be, still carries a strange practical power in Danfield. The banker who has resisted Lucy's most elaborate schemes has just been rendered soft and generous by a few French syllables and a hand kiss. I have never been able to decide whether this discovery is primarily comic or primarily melancholy. On the surface, it is pure comedy, the pompous man laid low by snobbery. Underneath it is a quiet comment on the hierarchies that still govern small-town American life in the middle of the 1960s. A European title, even a bankrupt one, could still open doors that hard work and long acquaintance could not. When I was younger, I laughed hardest at Lucy's free as a bird declaration and at the interest rate line. Now, I find myself lingering on the softer currents beneath the jokes. Mooney's sudden fascination is not merely foolish. It is the fascination of a man who has spent his life counting other people's money and who for a few minutes is allowed to feel that he is in the presence of something that cannot be reduced to numbers. Rosie, for her part, accepts his homage with the gracious weariness of someone who has been receiving such homage for years and knows exactly how little it ultimately buys. And Lucy stands between them, translating teasing, already beginning to see how this new dynamic might be turned to practical account. The invitation has been issued. The evening has been set. The gourmet room of the Danfield Hotel awaits with its promise of Bordeaux and Burgundy and Chablis, and with its complete lack of actual food. None of them know yet how hungry they will be or how the combination of empty stomachs and full glasses will undo the careful performances of the afternoon. All they know is that the Countess has been invited, that Lucy has refused to be left behind, and that Mr. Mooney has discovered in himself a capacity for courtliness he probably did not suspect he possessed. I leave this scene with the same mixture of amusement and quiet protectiveness I always feel. Mooney has been made ridiculous, but he has also been made briefly absurdly happy. Rosie has been reminded that the title still works, at least in Danfield. And Lucy has been given the first clear evidence that her old friend's borrowed grandeur may be convertible, if not into cash, then at least into opportunity. The living room is still full of luggage. The children are still somewhere practicing their manners. And outside in the ordinary streets of Danfield the news is already beginning to travel. The Countess is here, and even the banker is impressed. That impression will have consequences. The wine will be poured. The hunger will assert itself. The careful social surface will crack in ways none of them can yet imagine. But for this one suspended moment in the soft light of a suburban living room crowded with the physical evidence of a vanished life, Mr. Mooney has been allowed to feel that he is in the presence of greatness, and he has responded with the purest, most unguarded version of himself the series ever allows him. I have always been grateful for that unguarded moment. It makes everything that follows, both the comedy and the small human costs, feel earned. I have never been able to approach the wine tasting sequence without a small private smile of recognition and a corresponding flutter of protective dread. The moment the two women step into the gourmet room of the Danfield Hotel, the entire emotional weather of the composite shifts. What had been domestic farce and gentle social climbing suddenly becomes a study in the dangerous chemistry of hunger, pretension, and alcohol. I was too young the first time I saw it to understand how precisely the scene maps the distance between the performance of sophistication and the body's stubborn refusal to be fooled. Now, after decades of returning to it, I see it as one of the purest expressions of what Lucille Ball understood better than almost any comic performer of her century. That the body will always eventually tell the truth, the mouth is trying to decorate. They arrive already starving. The script makes this plain with almost clinical clarity. The tables are not set for dinner. There is no food visible. Lucy's first whispered observation, "I don't think we're getting any dinner," is met with Rosie's optimistic assurance that something will be served later. The optimism is pure performance, and both women know it. They have not eaten lunch. They have spent the afternoon managing luggage and bank presidents and the careful maintenance of a title that no longer pays for anything. Now they are expected to stand in a room full of Danfield's self-appointed gentry and make intelligent noises about Bordeaux while their stomachs negotiate with emptiness. I have always felt a particular solidarity with them in this moment. There is something universally human in the experience of arriving at an occasion that demands elegance when the body is already running on reserves. Mr. Mooney, now fully in his element as president of the society, begins the ritual with the solemnity of a man who believes he is conducting a sacred rite. The first wine is a Bordeaux bottled in 1935 from the vineyards of Château Mont Blanc Sassoon, or whatever the script's comic garbling of French vineyard names is meant to suggest. He swirls. He inhales. He closes his eyes in reverence. Lucy's aside is instantaneous and lethal. Is he drinking it or inhaling it? And then, even better, I'd enjoy the aroma of a hot dog right about now. The line is pure ball, earthy, practical, and completely subversive of the entire enterprise. In a room full of people pretending that the nose is the most important organ involved in drinking, Lucy quietly reminds us that the stomach has its own priorities. I have quoted that hot dog line to myself in more than one over-formal situation across the years. It never fails to restore a sense of proportion. Rosie, by contrast, rises to the occasion with the full apparatus of her continental persona. When asked for her opinion, she produces a description of almost mystical vagueness. The wine is a combination of nectar and ambrosia. Lucy, never one to be left behind in a linguistic performance, immediately offers her own contribution. I could definitely describe it as ambrosiatic. The invented adjective is perfect. It sounds almost plausible if you do not listen too closely. And it allows Lucy to participate in the ritual while simultaneously mocking it from the inside. The partnership between Ball and Southern is at its most delicious here. One woman supplies the elegant nonsense, the other supplies the slightly cracked American echo. Together, they create a duet of escalating absurdity that the rest of the room is too committed to the performance to notice. The wines continue. A Burgundy from the Saône and Loire bottled in 1959, a most excellent year for Burgundy. Mooney pronounces and Lucy mutters that it was not a bad year for hot dogs either. A delicate Chablis, whose bouquet is described in terms so rapturous that Lucy threatens under her breath to belt the man who is treating the wine as if it were perfume. Each tasting is accompanied by the same structural joke, the official language of connoisseurship on one side, the private language of hunger and growing tipsiness on the other. The gap between the two languages widens with every glass. I have always admired how patiently the script builds that gap. It does not rush the intoxication. It lets the alcohol accumulate the way it does in real life, slowly conversationally, until the surface of social competence begins to look shiny and thin. By the time they reach the later wines, the private asides have become less private. Lucy and Rosie are sustaining each other with a running commentary that is half conspiracy, half survival mechanism. I don't think they're ever gonna serve us any food. I don't care if I never eat again. The second line is already the alcohol talking, and both women know it. They have begun to float. The room has begun to soften at the edges. And then the script delivers one of its most unexpectedly tender comic explosions, the sherry from India bottled in 1939. Mooney announces the year with the same solemnity he has brought to every previous vintage. 1939 was an excellent year. The words land on Lucy like a physical blow. Suddenly, she is not in the gourmet room of the Danfield Hotel. She is a child again, and 1939 was the year she did not get to go to the seashore, the year she was sick, the year the summer was lost. The shift from comic tipsiness to genuine emotional weather is instantaneous and completely believable. Ball plays the sudden descent into memory with a vulnerability that still startles me. One moment she is matching Rosie drink for drink and quip for quip. The next she is fighting tears over a childhood disappointment that the rest of the room cannot possibly understand. Rosie, to her eternal credit, does not laugh it off. She moves immediately into protective mode, promising that no one will ever mention the year again. That she will personally see to it that 1939 is erased from every calendar in Danfield if necessary. The loyalty is fierce, and slightly drunken, and completely sincere. I have always found this digression almost unbearably moving. In the middle of a sequence designed to generate escalating physical comedy, the script pauses to let Lucy have a real feeling. The feeling is small, a mist summer at the shore, but it is real, and the reality of it punctures the entire balloon of wine-tasting pretension. For a few seconds, the Countess and the banker and the society columnist, and the solemn discussion of bouquets all recede. And we are left with a woman who is simply sad about something that happened when she was a child. Then the moment is folded back into the comedy because it must be. They still have to finish the tasting. They still have to maintain something like dignity. But the dignity is now visibly leaking. The final champagne is poured. Mooney attempts a toast to himself, then to the Countess, then to Mrs. Carmichael. The names begin to escape him. Lucy and Rosie are long past the point of reliable participation. Their contributions to the final toasts are enthusiastic and almost entirely content-free. To the President, the repetition becomes its own joke. They are toasting the idea of a toast. They are toasting the survival of the evening. They are toasting the fact that they are still upright, more or less. When the gathering finally concludes and the two women make their exit, they are floating on a mixture of alcohol, hunger, and the giddy relief of having gotten through the occasion without complete exposure. The walk out of the hotel is pure physical poetry. They decide against walking. They will take a taxi. The corner is a difficult one for taxis. The logic is impeccable and completely unhinged. I can still see them in my mind's eye, two women in their best clothes, slightly listing, holding each other up with the elaborate care of people who know they are not entirely in command of their own limbs. The performance of sophistication has been maintained just long enough to get them out the door. Now it can collapse into laughter and mutual dependence. What I love most about this entire sequence after all these years is how little cruelty it contains. It would have been easy to make the wine tasting a simple humiliation, a chance to punish Rosie for her pretensions and Lucy for her willingness to play along. The script refuses that easy route. Instead, it lets both women remain fundamentally likable even as they become ridiculous. Their hunger is real. Their tipsiness is earned. Their loyalty to each other only deepens as the evening unravels. When Lucy begins to cry over 1939, Rosie does not use the moment against her. When Rosie's elegant descriptions of wine become increasingly abstract, Lucy does not expose her. They are in it together, two women trying to survive an occasion that was designed to make them feel smaller than the room. I have carried this sequence with me as a kind of private talisman against certain kinds of social anxiety. Whenever I find myself in a room where the language being spoken is more elevated than the actual substance of the gathering, I hear Lucy's voice in my head asking about the aroma of a hot dog. The question never fails to restore a sense of scale. The body keeps its own ledger. Hunger is not impressed by vineyard names. Alcohol will eventually dissolve even the most carefully maintained continental accent, and friendship, real friendship, will still be standing when the last toast has been mumbled and the taxis have been found or not found. The gourmet room of the Danfield Hotel has long since emptied. The bottles have been cleared. Mr. Mooney has returned to his ordinary banking posture, though something of the evening's courtliness will linger in him for days. And Lucy and Rosie, somewhere in the soft night air of Danfield, are making their unsteady way home, still hungry, still slightly drunk, still laughing at nothing and everything. The title has survived another public test. The friendship has survived something more important, the shared experience of being imperfect in public and discovering that the imperfection only binds them more tightly together. I return to this sequence whenever I need to remember that comedy at its best is not about the perfect maintenance of a surface. It is about the moment the surface cracks and we discover that what is underneath is still worth loving. Empty stomachs, full glasses. A childhood summer that never happened, a toast to a president whose name no longer matters, and two women leaning on each other walking out into the night still able to laugh. That is the entire theology of the scene. As far as I am concerned. I have lived by it more than once. The morning after the wine tasting arrives with the soft, slightly bruised light that always follows a night of too much champagne and too little food. I have always felt a particular tenderness for this quieter movement of the composite because it is here that the immediate physical comedy of intoxication gives way to something more lasting and more revealing. The practical question of how two women are going to survive the gap between the performance of wealth and the reality of empty pockets. The living room is still crowded with luggage, but a new kind of abundance has begun to appear. Gifts. Boxes. Jars. And inside every one of them, with a regularity that quickly becomes comic and then quietly oppressive, is caviar. Caviar again. Nothing but caviar. Lucy's voice carries the particular exhaustion of someone who has opened one too many identical packages. We've got so many fish eggs you'd think we were running an underwater maternity ward. The joke is pure ball, earthy, slightly grotesque, and perfectly calibrated to puncture any remaining romance about aristocratic living. I laughed out loud the first time I heard it as a child, and I still smile every time the line returns to me in ordinary life. Usually when I am confronted by some excess that has lost its glamour. The image of an underwater maternity ward is so vivid and so ridiculous that it becomes a kind of private shorthand for any situation in which luxury has tipped over into absurdity. Yet beneath the joke there is already a practical anxiety. The town of Danfield, having heard that a countess is in residence, has begun to send the only tribute it can imagine. No one has thought to send meat. No one has thought to send anything that might actually sustain a household. They have sent the symbol of wealth rather than the substance of nourishment, and the symbol is starting to pile up like the luggage before it. Rosie feels the weight of it immediately. Darling, I feel so terrible about being broke and sponging off of you. The confession is softer than the one she made the day before, less theatrical, more genuinely ashamed. She is no longer performing the farewell appearance for delivery men. She is simply a woman who has slept under her friend's roof and is now watching the evidence of her own uselessness accumulate in the form of unwanted fish eggs. Lucy's response is characteristic in its refusal of melodrama. Now what are old school friends for? The line is light, almost tossed away, and yet it contains the entire moral position of the series. Friendship is not an account that must be balanced daily. It is a long-term arrangement in which temporary imbalances are simply part of the weather. I have clung to that line in more than one season of my own life when I felt I was taking more than I was giving. The show insists, with a kind of stubborn gentleness that the taking and giving will even out across years if the affection is real. But affection alone will not pay the grocery bill, and both women know it. The conversation turns as it must toward the question of Rosie's talents. She has none that she can see, or none that the marketplace is prepared to reward. I'm used to getting by on charm. The admission is made without self-pity, only a kind of weary clarity. Charm has always been enough to marry a count, enough to move through European rooms, enough to extract hand kisses from American bankers. But charm does not generate invoices. Charm does not cover the cost of a roof. Lucy's answering insight arrives with the force of genuine inspiration. Charm doesn't pay the bills. Rosie, you know something. It can pay the bills. You could open a charm school. I can still feel the exact lift in the air when that idea is spoken. It is one of those rare sitcom inventions that feels both completely absurd and strangely plausible. Of course, a broke countess should open a charm school. What else is she qualified to teach? The very quality that has left her insolvent is now reframed as a marketable skill. The world needs more charming people. Danfield, in particular, with its wine-tasting societies and its carefully maintained social hierarchies, is hungry for instruction in the arts of walking and speaking and existing with a certain borrowed grace. I have always loved how the script allows Lucy to be the originator of the idea. She is not merely the practical American foil to Rosie's European glamour. She is the one who sees how the glamour might be converted into survival. Rosie's first reaction is pure delight, followed immediately by the cold water of economics. Oh, what a marvelous idea! Oh no! That takes money. Now where am I gonna get money to open a charm school? The question hangs in the air with all its practical weight. And Lucy, who has spent years studying the particular vulnerabilities of Mr. Mooney, already knows the answer. That's where you can begin using your charm and our tight-fisted banker Mr. Mooney. He adores you. The plan is born in that single sentence. The same fascination that produced a hand kiss and an invitation to the wine-tasting society can now be put to more concrete use. I have always admired the clear-eyed calculation in Lucy's voice here. She is not above using Rosie's residual power over Mooney. She is not above turning a social weakness into a financial strategy. The show never pretends that survival is purely noble. Sometimes it requires the strategic deployment of whatever assets remain, even if those assets are only a title and a smile. The tea scene that follows is a masterpiece of controlled comic seduction. Mooney arrives already half conquered, having run all the way because the Countess asked for him. Rosie receives him with the full apparatus of her continental manner, "Ah, bonjour, monsieur," and proceeds to weave a spell of such concentrated flattery that even the viewer feels slightly dizzy. She praises his powerful build. She invents a past in which he was nearly an Olympic athlete. She sighs over the tragedy of his having married Irma instead. Every line is calibrated to make him feel larger, more important, more cultured than the bank usually allows him to feel. And Mooney, poor man, drinks it in like the wine he was swirling the night before. "You are like a breath of culture here in Danfield," he tells her, and the line is both ridiculous and genuinely touching. He wants so badly to believe that culture has arrived in the form of this woman. And she is prepared to let him believe it for as long as the belief remains useful. When she finally makes the request, the charm school, the need for capital, the money tied up in a Swiss bank that happens to be located inconveniently high on an Alp, the refusal is inevitable and almost gentle. Mooney would love to help. The bank, alas, is not in a position to advance a loan at this time. The formality of the language cannot completely hide the personal regret. He has been moved, and he does not like being the one who has to say no to the person who moved him. I have always felt a surprising sympathy for him in this moment. He is not simply the miserly banker of Lucy's earlier descriptions. He is a man who has allowed himself briefly to feel generous and cultured and admired, and who must now return to the narrower role of fiduciary responsibility. The return costs him something. Yet he does not leave her empty-handed. The Dunbars from New York are in town. They have been discussing investments. They might be exactly the people to back a venture like the Countess Framboise Charm School. The suggestion is made with genuine eagerness. Mooney wants the school to exist. He wants the Countess to remain in Danfield in some elevated capacity. He wants perhaps to continue feeling the way she makes him feel. The practical door he cannot open himself, he tries to open through others. It is one of the more quietly generous acts the character has ever allowed, and Gordon plays the eagerness without any protective irony. For a moment, the banker is simply a man trying to help a woman he finds enchanting. When Mooney finally leaves, the two women are alone again with the caviar and the luggage and the new idea. Rosie is giddy with the partial success. Lucy is already looking further ahead. The Dunbars will not be as easy to charm as Mr. Mooney. Proof will be required. A demonstration of the method will be necessary. The seeds of the My Fair Lady scheme are already present in the thoughtful silence that follows the banker's departure. I have always loved how the script lets the idea grow organically out of the previous failures and partial victories. The wine tasting produced no money, only a hangover and a flood of unwanted caviar. The direct approach to Mooney produced no loan, only a referral. Each closed door forces the invention of a more elaborate performance. The charm school begins as a simple commercial proposition and is already transforming before the scene ends into something more theatrical and more dangerous. What stays with me after all the years of returning to this sequence is the particular quality of hope it contains. The hope is not naive. Both women know how precarious the situation is. Both understand that the title is a wasting asset, that the town's fascination will not last forever, that the caviar will eventually stop arriving. And yet they proceed as if the invention of a school might actually solve something. They proceed as if charm properly packaged and properly taught might become a form of currency stable enough to live on. The belief is absurd. The belief is also deeply American in its insistence that personal qualities can be converted into economic survival through sufficient ingenuity and nerve. I sit with this scene longer than its comic surface seems to require, because it marks the true beginning of the larger adventure. Everything that follows the encounter with the Dunbars, the transformation of Lucy into Liza Lumpwumper, the health farm disaster, the frantic preparation of the Bellingham estate, grows out of the decision made over unwanted caviar, cooling tea. The decision is simply this: they will not accept the arithmetic of poverty as final. They will invent. They will perform. They will take the one remaining asset Rosie possesses and try to make it pay. Whether the attempt succeeds or collapses into further chaos is almost secondary. What matters is the refusal to sit still inside the disappointment. The underwater maternity ward of caviar jars is still overflowing. The luggage is still waiting to be properly unpacked. Mr. Mooney has returned to his bank, carrying with him the lingering scent of flattery and the small hope that the Countess will remain in town. And Lucy and Rosie, in the quiet of the living room, have begun to sketch the outlines of a school that does not yet exist, a method that has not yet been tested, a future that is still only a conversation. I have always found that quiet moment of invention more moving than any of the broader physical comedy that surrounds it. Two women, one of them a broke countess and the other her steadfast American friend, simply decide that charm might be enough if they can only find the right students and the right backers. The decision is fragile. The decision is also in its way heroic. I have lived by smaller versions of the same decision more times than I care to admit. And every time I return to this scene, I feel the old familiar lift of recognition. The caviar may be endless and unwanted. The money may be non-existent. But the conversation continues, and as long as the conversation continues, something is still possible. I have always approached the Dunbar sequence with a particular mixture of anticipation and low-grade dread, the way one approaches a familiar stretch of road that contains both a beautiful view and a known pothole. The scene is the true engine room of the composite's middle movement, the place where the modest commercial idea of a charm school is forced to become theatrical, competitive, and finally reckless. After the polite refusals of Mr. Mooney, Rosie and Lucy must now perform for people who have no prior affection for them, no residual hand-kiss susceptibility and no local loyalty to protect. The Dunbars are from New York. They deal in crude oil and social contempt. And they will require proof. The meeting begins with the careful choreography of persuasion. Rosie launches into her vision with the full force of her continental manner. The school in Danfield will be only a beginning. The Countess Framboise charm method is destined to spread across the world. Heaven knows the world needs more charming people. The line is delivered with such sincere conviction that I still feel a small answering yes in my chest every time I hear it. She is not wrong. The world of 1965, like the world of any year, contained a surplus of clumsiness, and a deficit of grace, and the idea that grace might be taught carries a certain utopian sweetness, even as the script prepares to demolish it with farce. Mrs. Dunbar listens with the narrowed eyes of a woman who has heard too many investment pitches. Fred, her husband, interjects once about expense, and is immediately told to be quiet. The dynamic is established in seconds. She is the decision maker. He is the wallet that has already been captured by crude oil and is now expected to remain silent. What strikes me most even after so many viewings is how precisely the script captures a particular strain of American social ambition. The Dunbars did not stay in the place where the oil was found. They moved to New York and acquired the habits of people who believe they have risen above the source of their money. Danfield to Mrs. Dunbar is merely the location of Fred's unfortunate relatives. Everybody in Danfield is so common. The pause before the final word is lethal. She does not spit the adjective. She places it on the table like a small expensive object she does not mind staining. Rosie meets the insult with the only weapon she has left, reframing. The commonness is not an obstacle, it is the challenge. Out there are hundreds of women who do not know how to walk or talk or dress, and she is longing to bring them the method. The longing sounds almost missionary. I have always admired the speed of the pivot. In the space of a single reply, social contempt is converted into a sales point. Then the door opens, or rather the performance of the door opens, and Lucy enters as Liza Lumpwumper. I must pause here to say that this is one of the great entrances in the entire run of The Lucy Show. Ball does not simply appear as a lower-class woman. She arrives as a concentrated disruption of every social code the room has been trying to maintain. The whistling comes first, off-key, aggressive, impossible to ignore. Mrs. Dunbar's irritation is immediate. "Lady, your whistling is annoying us." The reply is pure, unfiltered Liza. She does not whistle so good since she had her 2 front teeth knocked out in a fight, and they are just hanging by their roots. The physical image is so vivid and so unnecessary that it becomes its own form of violence against the polished atmosphere. I can still feel the exact shock of laughter the first time I encountered that line as a child. It was the laughter of someone watching a careful social surface get a pie in the face, only the pie was made of dental trauma and cheerful vulgarity. The scene that follows is a master class in controlled escalation. Rosie attempts to use the interruption as a living demonstration. This woman is exactly the type the school could help. She is a victim of society. The language is elevated, almost clinical, and it only makes Liza's subsequent behavior more explosive. When asked to recite "The rain in Maine falls plainly on the grain," Liza treats the request as genuine weather inquiry. "It ain't even cloudy out. How does anyone know it's raining in Maine?" The logic is impeccable and completely destructive of the exercise. When pressed further, she offers a poem of her own. "Pull down the awning, mother, daddy's leading a shady life." The fragment is so perfectly low comic that it feels like it has been waiting for decades to be spoken in a room full of oil, money, and borrowed European manners. And then, as if the poem were not enough, she produces the pig call "Zoe, Zoe, Zoe," and the sound itself becomes an assault on every refined ear in the vicinity. I have returned to this stretch of the script more times than I can count, not only for the laughter but for the strange tenderness it eventually reveals. Lucy underneath the missing teeth and the whistling, and the pig call, is performing a kind of radical service for her friend. She is making herself deliberately repulsive so that the contrast of the later transformation will be absolute. The performance is physically demanding and socially risky. Ball commits to it without any protective wink to the audience. She is willing to be grotesque in order to give Rosie a chance. That willingness still moves me. In a culture that so often required women to remain likable even in comedy, Ball repeatedly chose the more dangerous path of being fully ridiculous, fully physical, fully willing to sacrifice surface dignity for the sake of the larger game. Mrs. Dunbar's verdict is swift and dismissive. The Countess would be wasting her time. She will never be a Pygmalion to this Galatea. The classical reference is meant to close the conversation. Instead, it opens the trap. Rosie accepts the challenge with the full theatricality of someone who has just been handed the exact stage she needs. She will take this poor, wretched bit of flotsam and jetsam bathed and buffeted by the stormy sea of life and perform a complete metamorphosis. The language is so elevated it becomes comic in its own right, and yet Southern delivers it with complete conviction. She believes, or is prepared to act, as if she believes that the transformation is possible. The party is set for the following Friday. If Miss Lumpwumper appears as a lady, the Dunbars will finance the school. Fred attempts one last interjection and is again told to shut up. The decision is made. The bet is on. And Lucy, still in character, threatens to knock Mrs. Dunbar's teeth out for the sow's ear remark, requiring a rapid de-escalation that only heightens the sense that something genuinely unstable has been set in motion. I have always loved the final moments of the scene for the way they balance triumph and terror. Rosie has her demonstration. She has her potential backers. She also has less than a week to turn Lucy into someone who can pass among people who have already seen her as Liza and who will be watching for any crack in the new surface. When I was younger, I experienced this sequence primarily as set up the necessary machinery that would deliver the later party disaster. Now I see it as a complete and self-contained study of class performance in mid-1960s America. The Dunbars represent a particular kind of newly rich anxiety, the need to distance oneself from the crude origins of money by adopting the language and the contempt of older elites. Rosie represents the opposite movement. A woman whose elite credentials have become hollow and who must now sell the appearance of those credentials to people who still believe in them. Lucy as Liza represents the thing both sides prefer to keep out of the room, the unpolished, unashamed, physically noisy reality of the body and the voice when they have not been trained into submission. The genius of the scene is that it refuses to let any of the three positions remain comfortable. The Dunbars' contempt is exposed as brittle. Rosie's confidence is exposed as desperate. Lucy's vulgarity is exposed as a form of loyalty so extreme it borders on self-erasure. And yet the script never becomes mean. It holds all three parties inside a comic frame, large enough to contain their vanities without crushing them. That largeness of spirit is one of the reasons I have stayed with these episodes across decades. They understand that people are absurd and still grant them the dignity of their absurdity. The meeting ends. The Dunbars depart with the cool satisfaction of people who believe they have just set an impossible test. Rosie remains behind, with the knowledge that the test is now the only path forward. And Lucy begins the long, physically demanding work of becoming someone else so that her friend might have a chance at remaining someone. The charm school does not yet exist. The method has not been proven. The money is still theoretical. But the challenge has been accepted. And in the world of this series, the acceptance of a challenge is itself a form of momentum. I leave the scene the way I always do, half laughing, half holding my breath. The pig call still echoes. The missing teeth still hang by their roots in the imagination. Mrs. Dunbar's voice still pronounces the word common with that small expensive pause. And somewhere underneath all of it, two women have just agreed to attempt a miracle of presentation in front of people who are actively hoping to watch them fail. The miracle will not go as planned. The caviar allergy is already waiting in the wings. But the agreement itself remains one of the purest expressions of friendship the composite has to offer, the willingness to become ridiculous, even grotesque, so that the other person might have a shot at dignity. That willingness is what I keep returning for. It is what makes the long build of the Dunbar pitch more than mere plot machinery. It is the moment the series reveals once again that its true subject is not the success or failure of any particular scheme, but the stubborn and practical necessary decision to keep standing next to each other when the room becomes hostile. And the odds become long. The Dunbars have oil money and social contempt. Rosie and Lucy have a title that no longer pays and a friendship that still does. In the arithmetic of the scene, the second pair of assets is the one I would bet on every time. I have never been able to watch the party sequence without feeling a complicated knot of pride and protective terror on Lucy's behalf. This is the movement in which the entire elaborate machinery of the charm school scheme is placed under the brightest possible lights and asked to perform. The Dunbars have provided the stage, a hotel suite dressed for an unveiling, a gathering of people prepared to be impressed or to sneer, a statue by the imaginary futuristic sculptor Gabanzo waiting under its cloth. Rosie has provided the rhetoric of metamorphosis, and Lucy has provided her own body, voice, and nervous system as the proof of concept. The transformation of Liza Lumpwumper into a lady is the central wager of the middle episodes, and the script, with its characteristic mixture of generosity and ruthlessness, allows the wager both to succeed for a few luminous minutes and then to collapse in the most physically specific way imaginable. The entrance itself is handled with remarkable restraint. There is no thunderous announcement, no sudden fanfare. Eliza simply appears, and the room must adjust to the fact of her Ball's physical carriage in these moments, readable even from the transcript's descriptions of posture and speech, is a study in controlled contrast. The woman who only days earlier had whistled through missing teeth and called like a hog now moves with a careful, newly learned grace. When asked to speak, she produces the rein in main sentence with a clarity that draws genuine approval. "That was very good, my dear." The compliment is small, but in the economy of the scene it functions as the first coin of success. I still feel a lift in my chest every time the line is completed without incident. For a moment, the miracle appears possible. The flotsam and jetsam have been arranged into something that can pass among the oil money and the borrowed sophistication. What follows is a delicate comedy of social navigation. Eliza is instructed to mingle. She does so with the slightly exaggerated care of someone walking across a surface that might still give way. Fred Dunbar, the chronically silenced husband, is the first to approach with genuine kindness. He offers canapes. He tells her she looks pretty delicious herself. And then, in a moment that has always struck me as one of the script's quietest acts of grace, he completes an entire sentence of praise about the transformation and is rewarded by his wife's astonished observation that it may be the first time she has ever heard him do so. The exchange is easy to miss amid the larger machinery of the plot, yet it contains a secondary miracle. The presence of the transformed Lucy has somehow loosened something in Fred. He has been given permission, however briefly, to speak without being told to shut up. I have always loved the show for noticing that small liberation and for letting it stand without underlining. The canapes, of course, are the beginning of the end. Lucy, still deep inside the performance of daintiness, accepts them with pinky extended. She is eating very carefully. She is doing everything the method has taught her. And she does not notice, or cannot afford to notice, that the elegant little bites are caviar. The allergy that was established in the earlier, quieter morning scene now returns with the force of classical tragedy, except the tragedy is played as escalating physical farce. The itching begins. The script does not rush it. It lets the sensation build in real time, forcing Lucy to invent increasingly desperate methods of maintaining the surface while the surface itself is being colonized by hives. Scratch daintily and leave the pinky out. Rosie's whispered coaching is both practical and heartbreaking. Even in extremis, the performance must be protected. The two women retreat into corners, invent cover stories, attempt to apply ice to the small of Lucy's back while the rest of the party continues its oblivious circulation. The earring in the punchbowl improvisation is pure sitcom ingenuity, quick, ridiculous, and just plausible enough to buy another 30 seconds of concealment. Ball's physical commitment to the itching is legendary among those of us who have lived with these episodes. The body becomes an unreliable co-conspirator. Every attempt to remain still only intensifies the need to move. Every polite smile threatens to crack into a grimace of pure animal relief. I have returned to this stretch of the sequence more times than I can count because it stages with almost clinical precision the central tension of Lucy Carmichael's entire comic existence, the gap between the self she is trying to present and the body that refuses to cooperate. The charm school method can teach posture and diction and the correct extension of a pinky. It cannot teach a nervous system to ignore caviar. The body keeps its own ledger. and the ledger is now being settled in full view of the very people who were meant to be convinced. There is something almost philosophical in the cruelty of the joke. The transformation was always going to be tested at the point of greatest physical vulnerability. The script simply chooses the most elegant possible poison. The unveiling of the statue becomes the inevitable public climax. The guests gather. The cloth is ready to be drawn. And Lucy, beyond any further capacity for concealment, is discovered in the midst of her private agony. The reaction is swift and absolute. Mrs. Dunbar's fury is the fury of a woman who believes she has been made to look foolish. The transformed lady is revealed as nothing more than a slatternly charwoman. The classical bet is declared a failure. The financing evaporates in a single contemptuous speech. Fred attempts one last mild defense and is once again told to shut up. The room empties of possibility as quickly as it had earlier filled with cautious hope. What remains after the guests have turned away is the private aftermath between Lucy and Rosie, and it is here that the scene reveals its deepest tenderness. Lucy is still itching. The hives have not respected the social timeline. And yet the two women stay together inside the failure. There is no recrimination of the kind one might expect. There is only the practical, exhausted recognition that the miracle did not take, that the method has limits. That even the most committed performance cannot always overcome biology and bad luck. Rosie must now face the fact that the school will not be financed by the Dunbars. Lucy must face the fact that her greatest physical effort has ended in public exposure. And still they remain side by side, the one continuing to coach the other on how to scratch with whatever dignity remains. I have always felt that this sequence contains one of the purest expressions of what Ball and Sothern were able to create together. The comedy is broad, even extreme. The physical business with the hives and the ice and the punch bowl is pure slapstick. And yet underneath the slapstick is a steady current of loyalty that never breaks. Lucy does not blame Rosie for the impossible assignment. Rosie does not blame Lucy for the body's betrayal. They simply absorb the collapse together and begin, all ready to look for the next available door. That refusal to turn on each other inside the failure is the quality that keeps me returning to these episodes long after the specific jokes have become familiar. The world of Danfield is full of people who will withdraw their approval at the first sign of imperfection. Lucy and Rosie have made a quieter, more durable arrangement. When I was a child, I experienced the caviar catastrophe, primarily as pure comic escalation, the pleasure of watching an elaborate plan come apart in the most bodily way possible. Now, I experience it as something closer to a meditation on the limits of self-invention. The 1960s were full of messages about the possibility of transformation of speech, of posture, of class markers of the self. My Fair Lady had only recently made the fantasy glamorous and musical, The Lucy Show. In its own earthier register stages the same fantasy and then lets the body interrupt it. The interruption is not mean-spirited. It is simply honest. You can learn the sentence about the rain in Maine. You can extend the pinky. You can walk into a room as if you belong there. But if the room contains the one substance your particular body cannot tolerate, the performance will eventually end in hives. The statue remains unveiled. The guests have delivered their verdict. The financing has vanished. And Lucy, somewhere in a quiet corner of the hotel suite, is still trying to scratch daintily while Rosie looks on with the exhausted affection of someone who knows the next scheme will have to be invented soon. I leave the sequence the way I always do, half laughing, half aching, completely aware that the failure has somehow bound the two women more tightly together than any success could have done. The transformation did not hold. The friendship did. In the arithmetic of this series, that is the only balance sheet that finally matters. I have never approached the health farm sequence without a complicated mixture of delight and low-grade physical sympathy. After the public collapse of the charm school demonstration, the composite might have been expected to pause to regroup to allow its two central women a moment of quiet recovery. Instead, the script does what the Lucy Show so often does when the previous scheme has failed. It simply opens another door, and the door leads directly into a new form of controlled suffering. Mr. Mooney, still nursing the wound of his bad loan to the Lazy Days Health Farm, arrives with a proposition that is equal parts rescue and fresh captivity. The Countess's name, he believes, can still generate the publicity the failing enterprise requires. In exchange for that name and for Lucy's accompanying presence, he is prepared to offer money carefully disguised as a donation to charity and the opportunity to set a good example under his personal supervision as physical instructor. The negotiation over the loot remains one of my favorite small passages of pure character comedy. Mooney cannot bring himself to offer cash directly to a countess. The transaction must be elevated, a donation to her favorite charity, $100. Rosie, with the calm of a woman who has spent the last of her real currency on delivery men tips, simply elevates the elevation $200. And then Lucy is written into the deal as a necessary lady in waiting, which means another $200. The language remains genteel. The arithmetic becomes steadily less so. By the time the bargain is sealed, both women have extracted enough to make the coming ordeal feel, if not profitable, at least compensated. I have always loved the quiet steel in Rosie's bargaining. The title may be empty of capital, but it is not empty of leverage, and she uses the last of that leverage with the precision of someone who knows it may not last much longer. What follows is a master class in institutional comedy. The health farm is presented as a place of disciplined renewal. In practice, it is a site of carefully administered deprivation. 300 calories a day. A lunch that consists of 1 lettuce leaf, a curl of carrot, a sprig of parsley, and a yogurt wafer. Sort of a no-care package, Lucy observes, and the line still makes me laugh with the particular pleasure of watching someone name the insult with perfect accuracy. The body, which only days earlier had been asked to perform elegance under the pressure of caviar hives, is now asked to perform vigor under the pressure of actual hunger. Mooney, transformed into a whistle-blowing physical instructor, stalks the exercise floor with the zeal of a man who has finally found a stage large enough for his desire to command. The exercise sequences themselves are pure ball physical poetry. The swivel hip routine up, down, left, right begins as merely undignified and quickly becomes a study in cumulative humiliation. Lucy's running commentary, "I was doing all right on my onesies and twosies, but I keep bruising my threesies," converts bodily discomfort into language so precisely calibrated that the pain becomes shared and therefore bearable. The rowing machines produce a different comedy. The illusion of motion without progress, the seasickness that arrives without benefit of water. When the group is ordered to climb mountains in place, the absurdity reaches a kind of philosophical clarity. They are to perform the image of ascent while remaining exactly where they are under the eye of a man who has never himself been required to live on 300 calories a day. I have always heard in these sequences a quiet satire of every institution that demands visible effort while withholding the resources that would make the effort meaningful. The fake collapse is the first organized rebellion. Starving and increasingly desperate, Lucy and Rosie decide to perform the extremity they are actually beginning to feel. They moan for bread, for a morsel, for a sardine, for a cracker. Mooney, who has spent his banking career detecting false need, is not fooled. "I am not moved. You cannot fool me with this ridiculous phony act." The line is pure Gordon, firm, slightly hurt that they would try such a transparent maneuver, completely unaware that the act is only slightly exaggerated. The failure of the performance forces a deeper recognition. The hunger is no longer entirely theatrical. The body has begun to tell the truth, the mouth was only rehearsing. Then comes the tug of war. I have never been able to watch the tug of war without a surge of pure childish glee. It is one of the great set pieces of the entire composite, a moment when the accumulated frustrations of diet, exercise, and institutional control are allowed to discharge in a single catastrophic release of physical force. Mooney divides the women into teams with the confidence of a man who believes he is still in charge of the energy he is summoning. The rope is gripped. The pulling begins. And almost immediately the contest escalates beyond any possibility of orderly athletic display. Bodies lean. Feet dig in. The rope becomes a conduit for every unanswered complaint about lettuce leaves and mountain climbing in place. When the wall finally gives way, when the institutional architecture itself collapses under the pressure of organized female refusal, the comedy reaches a kind of ecstatic release. "They just don't build walls like they used to," someone observes. And the understatement is perfect. The wall was not built to withstand this particular form of need. What moves me most about the health farm sequence after all the years of returning to it is how clearly it continues the composite's larger meditation on the body as both problem and resource. In the charm school episodes, the body was asked to perform class. Here it is asked to perform health. In both cases, the institution demanding the performance is prepared to supply ideology but not sustenance. The Dunbars supplied a stage and an audience and the cold pressure of evaluation. Mooney supplies a regimen and a whistle and the cold pressure of caloric restriction. Lucy and Rosie in both cases eventually reach the limit of what the body can be asked to pretend. The hives ended the first performance. The collapsing wall ends the illusion that the second performance can be maintained indefinitely. I think often of how this material must have landed in 1965, a moment when American culture was increasingly saturated with messages about self-improvement, dietary discipline, and the moral value of visible effort. The health farm is a comic distillation of that entire complex of ideas. It promises transformation through restriction. It delivers only the comedy of restriction itself. And yet the show never becomes purely cynical. Mooney is ridiculous, but he is not evil. He is a man trying to salvage a bad financial decision by pressing the only assets he still has access to: the residual glamour of a title and the stubborn loyalty of Lucy Carmichael. The women are suffering, but they are also conspiring, laughing, and eventually pushing back with a force that literally alters the architecture around them. The wall comes down, and in its falling, there is a kind of freedom. The lunch break that follows the tug of war is almost cruel in its timing. The same meager plates are distributed. The same performance of gratitude is expected. Lucy's observation that she sometimes wishes she were back with her dear departed is only half a joke. The health farm has managed to make even the ordinary discomforts of ordinary life look in retrospect like abundance. I have always felt a particular ache at that line. It is the ache of someone who has been asked to endure too much for too little visible return and who is beginning to calculate the cost in a more serious register. By the time the sequence begins to tilt toward the neighboring farm and the possibility of actual food, the two women have been reduced to a state of almost pure bodily need. The schemes have narrowed, the performances have worn thin. What remains is the simple animal determination to eat something that has not been measured out by a man with a whistle. That determination will lead them in the next movement into the presence of a cow and a farmer and a new set of improvisations. But the health farm itself has already done its essential work. It has stripped away the last residual glamour of the Countess's arrival, and replaced it with the raw comedy of hunger. It has taken Mr. Mooney's desire for control and given it a physical stage large enough to expose its limits. And it has bound Lucy and Rosie together inside a shared physical ordeal that no amount of later success will completely erase from the memory of their friendship. I leave the health farm sequence the way I always do, half laughing at the collapsed wall, half rubbing my own midsection in sympathetic memory of every diet I have ever attempted and abandoned. The lettuce leaf remains the perfect emblem of the entire episode, crisp, inadequate, and offered with the absolute confidence that it ought to be enough. It was not enough. The wall came down. And somewhere in the wreckage, two women began to remember that they still had the capacity to pull together, harder than the institution that was trying to contain them. That capacity is the quiet victory hidden inside all the deprivation. I have returned for it more times than I can count, and I expect I will keep returning for as long as the body continues to prefer actual food to the performance of restraint. I have always regarded the cow sequence as one of the purest distillations of what the Lucy show could do when it allowed hunger to become the sole remaining plot engine. After days of lettuce leaves, yogurt, wafers, and the institutional comedy of mountain climbing in place, the body finally overrides every remaining social calculation. Lucy and Rosie do not sneak onto the neighboring farm because the scheme requires it. They sneak onto the neighboring farm because they are starving, and the script with a kind of merciful directness lets that starvation dictate the action. The earlier performances, Countess, Lady Charm School graduate, obedient health farm resident, have all been exhausted. What remains is the simple animal need to put something real into the mouth. The discovery of the cow is handled with the quiet wonder of people who have almost forgotten that the world contains such creatures. Hello, bossy. The greeting is tender, almost courtly. After the whistle-blown tyranny of Mooney's exercise floor, the mere presence of a large, warm, unjudging animal feels like a form of grace. I was a child the first time I saw this passage, and I remember feeling a profound wordless relief on their behalf. The cow did not care about titles or caloric intake or the opinions of oil millionaires. The cow simply stood there offering the possibility of milk. In the moral universe of the composite, that possibility is enough to justify almost any trespass. What follows is a master class in physical improvisation under pressure. There is no stool in immediate reach. There is no bucket. The women must invent the entire apparatus of milking from the materials at hand and from half-remembered ideas about how such things are done. Just grab on and make believe you're climbing a rope. The instruction is so perfectly Lucy that I still smile every time it surfaces in memory. She converts an agricultural task into a piece of playground mimicry. And in doing so, she makes the impossible feel temporarily manageable. Rosie, whose continental education has presumably not included the practical management of udders, follows with the game concentration of someone who has decided that dignity is a luxury she can no longer afford. The two of them on their knees in a strange barn attempting to extract sustenance from a patient cow form one of the most quietly moving images in the entire composite. The glamour of the Countess's arrival has been reduced to this: two women in borrowed farm air negotiating with a bovine for the next calorie. The singing is the detail that elevates the sequence from mere physical comedy into something closer to folk ritual. Lucy has read somewhere that music keeps cows contented. She therefore produces a soft improvised lullaby, la da ram 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 ram, while Rosie works. The song is ridiculous. The song is also strangely beautiful in its sincerity. I have always heard in it an echo of every desperate private ceremony people invent when the official systems of provision have failed them. They cannot buy food. They cannot demand it from Mooney without surrendering the last of their leverage. So they sing to a cow in a stolen barn and hope the ancient contract between human and animal still holds. When the milk begins to come, the relief is almost sacred. Shoot the juice to me loose. The line is pure low comedy, and yet it carries the full weight of days of deprivation. I have never been able to hear it without feeling a corresponding softness in my own chest. They drink. They drink directly, without ceremony, without the pinky extension that had been required at the Dunbar party. The body takes what it needs, and for a few moments the script allows them the uncomplicated pleasure of having solved a problem with their own hands. I treasure those moments. So much of the composite is about the failure of schemes, the collapse of performances, the public exposure of private need. Here briefly the need is met, the milk is real. The hunger recedes just far enough to let them breathe. Of course, the farmer arrives. The script would not be the script if the private victory were allowed to remain private. He has been watching the health farm with the accumulating resentment of a man whose peace has been disturbed by other people's dietary theater. The sight of two women stealing milk from his cow is the final provocation. And yet even his anger is quickly absorbed into the larger comic economy of the episode. He does not simply want them punished. He wants the entire health farm enterprise gone. He has money. He is prepared to buy the property and end the trouble at its source. The declaration lands in the middle of the barn like a new unexpected piece of luggage. Suddenly, the trespass has produced a potential solution to problems larger than immediate hunger. Mooney's appearance with the mortgage papers is timed with the precision of classic farce. The banker who has spent the previous days enforcing caloric restriction now arrives at the scent of a possible profitable transaction. When Mooney hears money, he comes in on the beam. Lucy's observation is both affectionate and lethal. The same man who could not find flexibility for a charm school loan can move with remarkable speed when a concrete property deal presents itself. The mortgage is produced from an inner pocket as if he has been carrying it against precisely this contingency. The amortization schedule is recited. The interest rate is named. The long-term payments are made to sound almost gentle. I have always loved the speed with which the scene shifts from the intimate comedy of milking to the dry comedy of real estate negotiation. The cow is still present. The milk is still on their mouths. And yet the conversation has become one of capital and paper and the orderly transfer of land. The question of the promised loot surfaces with its own quiet bitterness. Lucy and Rosie have endured the exercises, the starvation, the public tug-of-war, and the private humiliation of being caught with a stolen bucket. They have, in their view, earned the $200 apiece that was to be donated to the Countess's rotating charities. Mooney sees the matter differently. They disobeyed the rules. They left the property. They created the very disturbance that has now brought the neighboring farmer to the point of purchase. The loot is withheld. The logic is impeccable from a certain banking perspective and completely outrageous from the perspective of two women who have just been reduced to milking a stranger's cow in order to survive his regimen. I feel the injustice of it even now across all the decades. The institution is prepared to profit from the chaos it created. Yet it is not prepared to honor the modest compensation it once offered the people who absorbed that chaos in their own bodies. What stays with me most deeply about this entire movement is the way it completes the composite's long meditation on sustenance. The series began with a breakfast table and the ordinary abundance of a family meal. It moved through the false abundance of caviar, the liquid abundance of the wine tasting, the theoretical abundance of a charm school fortune, and the punitive scarcity of the health farm. Here finally, it reaches the oldest and most literal form of provision. Milk taken directly from the animal under open sky without institutional mediation. The fact that even this provision is temporary and contested only sharpens its value. For a few minutes, the women fed themselves. The act was illegal, undignified, and completely successful on its own terms. Everything that follows the property negotiation, the withheld loot, the return to ordinary social calculation feels like a descent from that brief bovine clarity. I think often of the farmer's simple motivation. He does not care about titles or publicity or the delicate social games of Danfield. He cares that his peace has been disturbed and that he has the means to end the disturbance. In his blunt desire to purchase the problem and erase it, he becomes an accidental agent of resolution. Mooney, smelling profit, becomes an accidental agent of the same resolution. The two women who only wanted a glass of milk become the unlikely catalysts for a real estate transaction that will presumably end the health farm's particular form of tyranny. The outcome is almost accidental and yet it feels earned. They pulled down a wall with a rope. They sang to a cow. They refused in the end to accept 300 calories as a complete philosophy of life. The universe of the show, which is fundamentally comic and fundamentally just, rearranges itself around that refusal. When I return to this sequence late at night, the way I have returned to it across so many years, I find myself lingering on the smallest physical details, the way they must have knelt, the temperature of the milk, the sound of the cows breathing in the relative quiet of the barn. The great schemes have all failed or transformed into something unrecognizable. The title has been spent. The charm method has been publicly dismantled. The health farm discipline has been revealed as a form of controlled starvation. And still in the middle of all that failure, two women managed to feed themselves by their own improvisation and nerve. That small success remains for me one of the most enduring images the composite has to offer. It is not glamorous. It is not elegant. It is simply true to the body's need, and the show at its best never loses sight of that truth. The mortgage papers are signed or prepared for signing. The farmer has a path to the peace he wants. Mooney has a path to the profitable exit he needs. And Lucy and Rosie, still tasting milk, still denied their loot, step back into the ordinary daylight of Danfield, carrying the private knowledge that they once sang to a cow and were answered. I carry that knowledge with them. It is one of the reasons I keep coming back. I have always felt a particular softening in my chest when Vivian Bagley finally walks back through the door. After the long arc of luggage and wine and caviar and charm school catastrophe and health farm starvation and stolen milk, the return of Viv functions as a kind of emotional homecoming inside the larger homecoming of the faith composite. The house has been stretched, invaded, tested, and partially repaired by improvisation. Now, the other permanent resident reappears. And the script allows the simple, uncomplicated pleasure of reunion before it introduces the next impossible demand. Oh Lucy, it's me, I'm home. The line is ordinary, almost flat in its transcription, and yet I have never been able to hear it without feeling the accumulated weight of everything that has happened in her absence. Viv has been away visiting relatives. She has missed the avalanche of trunks, the wine-tasting disaster, the public failure of Liza Lumpwumper, the caloric tyranny of the health farm, the milking of a stranger's cow. She returns to a living room that still bears the physical evidence of all those events, and to a best friend who has been surviving them by pure nerve and loyalty. The embrace between Lucy and Viv is one of the quiet anchors of the entire series. Ball and Vance had by this point spent years refining the exact temperature of that friendship, affectionate, practical, occasionally exasperated, and fundamentally unbreakable. Even in a transcript, the warmth is unmistakable. The introduction of the Countess is handled with the gentle comedy of overlapping realities. Viv is delighted, almost starstruck at the idea that royalty has slept in her bed. I bet I'm the only person in this whole town who's had royalty sleep in their bed. The line is pure Vivian, open-hearted, slightly odd, completely without guile. Rosie's correction is equally characteristic. She is not really royalty, only a woman who happened to marry a count. The distinction matters to her. And it matters to the moral texture of the show. Titles are accidents of marriage and paperwork. The person underneath remains Rosie Harrigan, of Danfield, the girl who once dribbled circles around her teammates. Viv absorbs the information with the same generous curiosity she brings to most of the chaos Lucy generates. She does not demand a full accounting of the previous days. She simply makes room the way the household has been making room since the first telegram arrived. The luggage is still everywhere, of course. The labels from Calcutta and Melbourne and Bangkok continue to testify to a life that has traveled farther than anyone in the house. Viv's practical eye takes in the volume and the disarray, but the script does not linger on scolding. There is too much affection in the room for scolding. Instead, the conversation moves as it must toward the new crisis that has just arrived by wire. Lord and Lady Van Cleve are coming to the States and expect to spend the weekend with the Countess. The names alone are enough to reset the entire emotional thermostat of the household. Real English nobility. People who will arrive with expectations formed by actual estates and actual staff and actual continuity of privilege. The borrowed glamour that has been just sufficient for Danfield society will not be sufficient for them. Rosie's panic is immediate and completely understandable. You can't entertain them in a hotel room. The statement is practical rather than snobbish. She knows what the visit will require, and she knows she does not have it. The title that has opened so many doors in Danfield is about to be tested by people who can read its emptiness at a glance. Lucy's response is pure Carmichael ingenuity. They will simply have to find a chateau. The word is spoken with the same cheerful determination she once brought to the idea of a charm school. If the world does not contain the necessary object, the world will have to be rearranged until it does. I have always loved the speed of that pivot. Where Rosie sees an impossible social exposure, Lucy sees a logistical problem waiting for a solution. The solution inevitably runs through Mr. Mooney in the bank's real estate holdings. The same man who has spent the previous episodes oscillating between fascination and fiduciary refusal is now approached once more, this time with the combined force of the Countess's residual glamour and Lucy's practiced knowledge of his weaknesses. The visit to the bank is a small comic gem in its own right. Mooney is in the midst of a buoyant conversation with someone named J.D. about dividends and bonuses when the two women appear. His manner undergoes the now familiar transformation the instant he registers Rosie's presence. The busy banker becomes the courtier again. You are positively radiant. The compliment is excessive and completely sincere in its excess. Gail Gordon understood that Mooney's snobbery was not merely comic decoration. It was a genuine appetite for a world more elegant than the one the bank usually offered him. Rosie feeds that appetite with the practiced ease of a woman who has been feeding similar appetites for years. The request is framed with exquisite care. The Countess cannot possibly ask Lord and Lady Van Cleve to stay in ordinary accommodations. On the continent, after all, one does not buy an estate outright, one lives in it for a week or so, and then decides whether it suits one's personality. The invented custom is so perfectly calibrated to Mooney's particular blend of greed and social aspiration that he accepts it without visible strain. The Bellingham estate is produced from the bank's portfolio like a card from a deck. It is old. It is elegant. It has not been lived in for a long time, and may need work. Rosie accepts it on the spot. The papers are arranged. The key or the equivalent of a key is handed over. For a few minutes, it appears that the impossible has once again been made possible by the strategic application of a title and a smile. I have always felt a complicated gratitude toward this solution. On the one hand, it is pure sitcom convenience, the sudden availability of a suitable mansion just when the plot requires one. On the other hand, it continues the composite's long clear-eyed examination of how social power actually circulates in a place like Danfield. The title that could not produce a bank loan for a charm school can still produce temporary access to a piece of real estate the bank is holding. Mooney's fascination has limits when capital is at risk, but it has almost no limits when the risk can be framed as cultural elevation. The Bellingham estate is in effect another form of the hand kiss, an offered gesture of homage that costs the offerer little in the moment and may yet be reclaimed. What moves me most deeply in this entire movement is the quiet restoration of the household's core configuration. Viv is home. Lucy is no longer carrying the full emotional and logistical weight of the Countess's residence alone. The friendship that has been tested by poverty and performance and public failure is now reinforced by the return of its third permanent member. The three women together form a unit capable of facing the next absurdity, the preparation of a ruined house for the arrival of actual English aristocracy, with a shared if slightly hysterical determination. I have always believed that the composite reaches a new emotional register once Viv is back inside the frame. The schemes become less lonely, the failures become more bearable, the laughter has more places to land. The telegram remains on the table like a small elegant threat. Lord and Lady Van Cleve are coming. The Bellingham estate is available. The luggage can presumably be moved one more time. And somewhere underneath the practical arrangements, the deeper question of the entire composite continues to sound: how long can a performance of belonging be sustained when the material basis for that belonging has already dissolved? Rosie has the title. She has the residual ability to move men like Mooney. She has the loyalty of Lucy and now the practical support of Viv. What she does not have is a real house, real money, or a real place in the world the Van Cleves inhabit as a matter of birthright. The gap between those two sets of assets has been the engine of every episode since the first telegram arrived. It is about to be tested more severely than ever. I leave this sequence with the same mixture of affection and anticipatory worry I always feel. The household is whole again. The next stage has been secured by the familiar mixture of flattery and nerve. And the English nobility are already in the air, descending toward Danfield with expectations that no amount of borrowed furniture or frantic wallpapering will be able to meet completely. The composite has never been interested in complete success. It is interested in the quality of the attempt. And in the stubbornness with which these women continue to make room for one another inside the attempt. Viv's return reaffirms that stubbornness. The Bellingham estate gives it a new dilapidated address. And I, watching from the distance of all these years, feel the old familiar readiness to follow them into whatever fresh disaster the address turns out to contain. I have never been able to approach the Bellingham estate sequence without a familiar tightening of affection and anticipatory dread. After the long arc of arrival, intoxication, failed transformation, and bovine improvisation, the composite finally delivers its purest physical comedy cathedral, a ruined house that must be made to look like a suitable temporary chateau. For English nobility and three women plus the occasional banker who possess more determination than skill. The moment they step through the door and confront the reality of the place remains one of the great comic reveals in the entire run of the series. If they ran water through it, it would look like the sewers of Paris. Lucy's verdict is instantaneous, accurate, and completely free of residual romance. The bank's description of quite old but very elegant has not survived contact with the actual rooms. Elegance has long since departed. What remains is dust, disrepair, and the particular smell of a house that has been holding its breath for years. Rosie's panic is immediate and justified. Lord and Lady Van Cleve are not abstract future guests. They are already in transit, carrying with them the expectations of people who have never had to pretend that a decaying American estate is a continental seat. Lucy's response is pure Carmichael pragmatism under pressure. They will not hire a crew, there is no money for a crew. They will do the work themselves. Viv, only recently restored to the household, is drafted without ceremony. The decision is made in the space of a few sentences, and with it, the composite commits itself to one of its longest and most sustained passages of pure physical farce. I have always loved the speed of that commitment. There is no lingering debate, no careful inventory of their actual capacities. The house must be made ready. Therefore, they will make it ready. The logic is circular and completely characteristic. The list of necessary repairs unspools like a comic area of domestic catastrophe. Thorough cleaning, new wallpaper, tables that must be fixed, chairs that must be fixed, a door that must be rehung, floors that must be addressed. Each item is named with the brisk efficiency of people who have not yet begun the actual labor and therefore still believe the labor is finite. I have returned to this inventory many times across the years, usually while confronting some overwhelming task in my own life, because it captures so precisely the gap between the idea of restoration and the bodily reality of it. On paper, the tasks are discrete and manageable. In the body, they become an endless, dusty, adhesive negotiation with gravity and incompetence. The physical comedy that follows is among the most carefully engineered in the composite. Ladders are raised and immediately become hazards. Planks are intended to create a scaffold and instead create a series of near misses and actual collisions. Bodies move in overlapping trajectories that guarantee interference. You get a hold of one end of this plank. The plank's too long. Did you ever think of moving the ladders farther apart? The dialogue is pure practical problem solving delivered under rising stress, and Ball, Vance and Southern play the rising stress with the precision of musicians accelerating a tempo they know will eventually break. I can still feel the exact muscular memory of watching them try to coordinate the placement of that plank. The laughter it produces is the laughter of recognition every viewer has at some point attempted a simple physical task with other people and discovered that the simplest tasks are the ones most likely to generate chaos. Mooney's arrival in the middle of the work is timed with classical farce exactitude. He walks into a space already dense with ladders and movement and is immediately struck by both. The banker who has spent the previous episodes oscillating between fascination and control is reduced for a moment to a man in the wrong place at the wrong time, wearing the wrong clothes for the amount of paste and dust in the air. His recovery is pure Mooney. After the initial spluttering, he attempts to impose organization. Wallpapering detail here, furniture repair there, painting and cleaning in the third direction. The assignments are delivered with the confidence of a man who believes that naming tasks is the same as completing them. And then, having organized everyone else, he announces that he himself will be playing golf. The line is so perfect in its self-revelation that I still laugh out loud every time it arrives. Authority. In Mooney's universe is the privilege of exemption from the labor one has just assigned. What follows the organizational speech is the long, dusty middle of the work itself, and the script does something quietly radical by letting that middle take time. We watch them struggle with paste and paper and the particular stubbornness of old walls. We watch the small victories and the larger miscalculations accumulate. The comedy is no longer simply the comedy of collision. It is the comedy of sustained imperfect effort. I have always felt a deep tenderness for this stretch of the sequence. So much of the composite has been about the performance of ease, the Countess's effortless continental manner, the charm school fantasy of instantaneous transformation, the health farm pretense that restriction equals renewal. Here, the pretense is stripped away. What remains is the visible physical fact of people trying to make a ruined thing look less ruined with their own hands and not always succeeding. The discovery that Lucy has papered over a window is the sequence's purest comic detonation. The room has been declared finished. The light is strangely dim. Someone suggests pulling up the shade. There is no shade. There is no window. There is only wallpaper where a window ought to be. The logic of the mistake is flawless in its absurdity if one is concentrating hard enough on the smooth application of paper. The rectangular absence of a window can become simply another surface to be covered. Ball's defense, if you're Lucy, it's easy is both a confession and a strange badge of honor. Only she could have achieved this particular perfection of error. The moment is pure visual farce, and yet it also functions as a quiet thesis statement about the entire restoration effort. They have been so focused on creating the appearance of intactness that they have sealed themselves inside a room without light. I think often of the 1960s context of this material. The culture was full of messages about home improvement, do-it-yourself competence, the democratic possibility of restoring old things to usefulness through sufficient personal effort. The Bellingham sequence takes that entire complex of ideas and subjects it to the gentle, relentless pressure of reality. Effort is expended. Paste is applied, paper is hung. And the result is a room that looks finished until someone notices that the sun has been abolished. The joke is not that they are incompetent. The joke is that competence itself is more complicated, more physical, more prone to elegant error than the culture of improvement usually admits. When the sequence finally begins to wind toward the arrival of the actual guests, the house exists in a state of fragile provisional readiness. Some rooms look almost plausible. Others contain the evidence of the struggle that produced the plausibility. The wallpapered window has been addressed or at least acknowledged. The furniture has been arranged to hide the worst of the remaining damage. And the three women, covered in the residue of their labor, have reached the particular exhaustion that comes from having fought a house and achieved a draw. I have always loved them most in this state, dusty, tired, still willing to continue. The glamour of the Countess's first entrance has been completely metabolized into paste and effort and the stubborn refusal to let the Van Cleves arrive to an openly ruined stage. The Bellingham estate was never going to become a real chateau. The script never pretends otherwise. What it offers instead is something more valuable: the spectacle of people refusing to surrender to the gap between what is required and what they can actually produce. They cannot produce elegance from nothing. They can produce a slightly less disastrous version of the disaster they inherited, and they can do it together in a cloud of paste and mutual exasperation and sudden, helpless laughter when the window disappears. That collective refusal remains for me one of the composite's most enduring gifts. I have returned to it across decades of my own imperfect projects. My own rooms that needed more work than I could give them, my own moments of discovering that I had papered over something essential in the effort to make the surface look complete. The ladders are finally folded, the remaining paste is scraped from hands and hair. The house stands in its provisional state, waiting for the English nobility who will not be fooled and who may, if the deeper logic of the series holds, find themselves oddly at home in the imperfection. I leave the sequence the way I always do, half covered in imaginary dust, half smiling at the memory of that missing window, completely convinced that the attempt itself was the only architecture that ever really mattered.